Boom, we're in. Ben, thanks for joining me, mate.
No, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to come on again.
Oh, I'll silence my
Yeah.
phone quickly. That's a quick little faux pas for everyone there.
Well, we basically got here 45 minutes ago. I just managed to get it on, just get it all set up, and then the phone goes. So.
The thing is, though, when you haven't done one for a while, you forget how to use the software.
Mate, I don't
So
know how to use any of it. So
I need like a little young Jamie, like Joe Rogan's got, to someone who's permanently employed to keep everything running smoothly. I can just turn up and talk bollocks with someone. That's perfect for me, you know.
And just for a reference, I'm not really small compared to you. I just seen the thing on there. I left back.
You're certainly not really small compared to me since lockdown. Definitely.
So yeah, basically, I'm a little bit heavier than I used to be.
Yeah, slightly.
Well, we was trying to work out the other day. I think I put on 21 kilos.
Since the first lockdown?
Yeah, so the first one. Well, since November, whatever that was, November, December. Whenever ADCC, I was 86 kilos with all my clothes on.
Yeah. Oh.
And then now, with just my pants. Well, I went up.
Being sat with you now, I didn't believe you for a minute.
Mate,
Was he?
Yeah, but then I went up. I got to about 107, and then I was a bit like, I'm not even looking at the scales
down
anymore.
to 106.
No, I'm under 100 again.
Yeah.
Now. So yeah, just
The thing is, as well, when we came back, you weren't training much either because you were teaching loads and trying to catch up with people who hadn't been able to train as much. So
Yeah.
you weren't, like, as were before, you'd jump on the end of every session and you'd be there. That kind of fell away a little bit because you were busy.
Well, I mean, it's two things. One, I did get real lazy. Like I didn't really want to train all that often, if I'm honest. And then the other thing is, I didn't really have anything to train for when I come back. You know, when you got like a competition coming up, or jiu-jitsu, or a fight, or whatever you're doing, you got some sort of like end goal.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm one of them people now. I can tick over all the time. So even when I'm fat, I still train.
Yeah.
Or I'm hanging out my ass, but I still train.
Yeah.
Whereas when I got something that I actually think, well, I actually want to go there and do well, then I start to think, all right, I probably should stop eating at 6. This is what I do. I go back onto my. It takes me like a little bit. Like I'll get my training right first. The training always comes first. Then I worry about my diet. Then I worry about everything else.
Yeah.
Whereas it's probably the opposite to most people. Most people start the diet on Monday and then go, right, I'm going to diet for a bit, then I'm going to train. But I don't really enjoy the dieting bit.
No, it's not anyone's favourite bit. It's not anyone's favourite bit.
There's a lie. I didn't mind it. I like the fasting. I really like the fasting. When I did the intermittent stuff, I really like it. My body seems to suit it. I sleep better. I train really, really well. Like I always get up fresh. Like I feel good. Whereas when I don't, and I eat a bit of shit at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, then that's when I get the next day, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Then that's the knock on. So as soon as I get back to my 6 o'clock finish, everything's so much better. I feel so much better. That just suits me. Like I tried lots. Like I did I wouldn't eat till 1 in the afternoon, and then try and eat from 1 till like 9 or 1 till 8.
Yeah.
It didn't really suit me so much. I like get up, train a little bit, and then eat what I want to eat.
So what sort of time are you thinking you get up? What sort of time? Like average day, normal, not training specifically for anything, just normal life.
Well, I didn't mind being in here. I like to, excuse me, I like to try and keep with as close to my circadian rhythm as I can.
Yeah.
Like in the summer, I didn't mind being in there at 6. In the winter, I fucking hate it. I hate being there at 6. Like I don't enjoy it one bit.
Oh, you wouldn't ever see me in there at 6.
No, I just don't enjoy it. But even to coach, like I just don't enjoy it. Like I can feel it. So in the winter time, I like getting up about 8 o'clock. It feels good for me. Like I wake up at 8, I'm good. I get straight up and I run. I feel much better. Whereas in the summer, I got no problem getting up for 5:30, get up, do something. I'm in the mood for it. You know.
What time are you going to bed though in the summer? If you're getting up at 5:30?
It's still pretty good. 11, half 11, not too much. But then I have quite a nice day. Like I get up, I train, I eat what I want to eat a lot. In the summer I don't eat so much, but like I eat what I want to eat. And I know it sounds stupid, although I don't sleep loads, I rest a lot and I recover well. I do recover well because this is the thing with the CrossFitters. You see all the CrossFitters and you watch the CrossFit the CrossFit Games, you're like, fucking hell, they're absolute beasts. You're like, yeah,
Yeah.
they are. But they spend the majority of their time recovering well from what they've done.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? They
yeah.
earn the recovery.
Yeah.
So I do that well because they've got time. That's the thing. People
Yeah.
don't have enough time because they train really hard,
Yeah.
then go work.
Like when I owned the gym and I was full-time pro, I owned a gym. So I would come in the morning and we'd maybe have like a group of pros would come train. So we'd all meet at say 10. So I'm up at 7, come to the gym, be at the gym, open up, have a little something to eat because I'm going to spar or whatever, you know. Then train at say 10. That will finish. And all I'd have to do is clean the mats off, ready to sit there clean for the evening class, whatever.
Yeah.
Then I could just lay on the sofa, sleep if I wanted to. It's my gym. I'd hear the buzzer go and you open the door or something. Do you know what I mean? So I could have a little sleep. I could just do nothing till the next training session, which might be strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
Then I could chill again. But like when you've got a full-time job with that, that goes out the window. And so managing to train for a pro fight whilst running a full-time job as well.
Yeah.
You notice that something's going to give your diet or an injury or your training quality won't be as good. So yeah, something's going to give when you have other commitments or other work, other things in life that take precedence, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is what we used to have this conversation with Blur a lot, where I say, "Oh, I didn't have time." So yeah, you have time, you just didn't make it a priority.
Exactly.
And that's the big thing with the pros, or the people that are deemed to be pros. They say, "Oh yeah, but I fight pro." No, you fight pro rules. You're not a professional athlete.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like let's distinguish between the two things going on here. And the ones that do go, right, I'm gonna fucking drop everything and I'm gonna go full pro. I'm gonna make my life this.
Yeah.
You've got to take your hat off to them. Fair play. You've done everything you can do.
Yeah.
I just think it's hard to get that. I think that's really, especially this sport.
Oh yeah, because at what level? Like, I mean, I fought at like a decent level in the UK, and I know when I've been training for those big fights, there's no one in the UFC who's outworking me, and I'm not being outworked as a professional athlete. I'm doing everything that they're doing, and I can hand on heart say that because I've trained with so many top level guys around the world and been to America and been part of people's training camps, help them get ready. So I know what I'm doing is at the same level as anyone who's training for a high level fight, not like a 5-round fight. Apart from when I trained for Man or Fool, they said to me it's a title fight. I said 5 rounds. They're like, no, 3 rounds. I was like, no, 5-minute rounds. Let's fucking be professionals. Like, I'm a professional athlete. I'm going to train like a professional athlete. 5-minute rounds. After 3 weeks of training, I was like, oh, I wonder if they'll change that back. But I knew like I'm as fit or as ready to fight as anyone because it was my #1 priority. But my career's always suffered because when I make that my #1 priority, I miss paragliding, I miss skydiving, I miss fishing, I miss this, I miss that, and so I mean that's not an excuse for not being good enough for beating people. That's just my head's not in it for a large portion of a training camp. People are training, it's their everything. Like they're planning a food. And if you've got a missus or if you've got a mum or someone who you live with and they're preparing food for you as well, all of this helps. If you're single and you have to do all that, it takes away. So even if you're living as a pro fighter, you're not living as a pro athlete very often because you're making your own food. You're doing this. You're doing that. There's sacrifices.
I mean, the thing is here, there ain't really the structure for you to be a professional athlete in this sport. It just isn't. You know, you have a look at what a professional rugby player looks like. There's a pathway from you at 14, 15, 16, right the way up to pro, and then you're on your own. Do you know? Whereas here, there's no pathway. You're on your own from day one, and you sort of, like, I don't know, just from an outsider looking in, that's how it looks like to me. There's not like a clear path. Like, well, this is what I should be doing because this is what all the rest of my 15 or 20 teammates are doing. They're all eating this. We go to the club at the same time, we all eat this. We all go straight for conditioning at 7 o'clock in the morning. If you're heavy, you go to fat club after. You do these things, you know what I mean? Whereas here, it seems to me like, there you go.
But that's also the knock on because, as you've already said, people are professional fighters and not professional athletes. So you turn up to every gym, every MMA gym now, everyone's a professional fighter. So like, oh yeah, I'm fighting pro, I'm doing this, and like you said, but they're not professional athletes. So even the people who you're looking up to in the gym or are like when our new guys come and train here, they look at the pro guys and they're pro fighters, but I can't wait to tell my mate I'm a pro fighter, and it's like, you're missing a massive part because I mean, obviously you know me, you know how I coach and stuff like that, and I'm like brutalised down the line. It is how it is. There's no bullshit, and that's why I say about the people who want to turn pro and stuff. Like, you're not going to be a professional athlete.
Yeah.
You just want to fight pro.
Yeah.
Be a professional athlete, because don't fight pro to tell your mates you're a pro fighter, because they're not the ones getting elbowed in the face.
Yeah.
They're not the ones having arguments with their missus because they're turning up late for home. They're not the ones. In the moment you can be a professional athlete, it's a moment you can go pro. Do you know what I mean? And that, when you're 15 and you start training with us, that's easier to instill in you.
Yeah.
But the guys who are like in their 30s or late 20s and they've done a couple of amateur fights, they want to tell their mates, no, I'm a pro fighter. Like, all right, be a pro fighter, but you're not a professional athlete, and that's the difference.
There is a bit of that, but then I also think these people go pro because that was the dream. That's what they wanted to do. I want to be a pro fighter. I want to fight pro rules, and it opens extra doors for them. Do you know? Like, there is an opportunity to have some sponsorship. There is an opportunity to have someone look after you a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Like, even stupid shit like, oh, we all get our protein from somewhere. They haven't got to pay for that, whereas before they had to pay for it. So I can see there's a trade-off.
Which in the grand scheme will mean nothing when you're being elbowed in the face in the end of a 5-minute round fight. Trust me, it'll mean nothing. Like, you tell me another sport where you can decide you're going to be a professional and then you're a professional.
Yeah, no.
Not. I can't think of any. Like, even sports like, oh, I'm going to do professional badminton. Alright, so you're going to be a professional badminton player. Yeah, I'm going to be a professional badminton player. Right, then go and get into a professional badminton competition. Ah, well, you wouldn't qualify.
Yeah.
Here, you can ring up a promoter and you can say, I'm a professional fighter and have a fight under professional rules.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you're a professional athlete.
Yeah.
It doesn't even mean you're a professional fighter. That means you're fighting under professional rule set.
Yeah.
Which means nothing, because Barry from up the pub can have an argument with his mate and say, let's sort it out on the next XX show. And in pro rules.
Yeah.
What a fighting pro. It doesn't mean anything to anyone.
No.
I think your pro status should be achieved in the gym. Like, you should be the guy in the gym who everyone is saying, you should be going pro.
Yeah.
Your coaches should be saying, I think you could go pro now. And they should, do you reckon? Yeah, because this is where you make your status.
Because I think it's a weird, for me, this seems like a weird time. Like, there probably wasn't an awful amount of amateur events when you were coming up.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So you went pro.
Yeah.
Same with, like, Chris went pro. Whereas now it's like, well, there is some amateur thing, and your amateur record means something. Whereas before it didn't really mean nothing, do you know? Whereas now it could. And then now you look at, like, people like Arch, 14, 15, 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
If they want to fight amateur, they can stay and fight amateur till they're in their 30s. They can go and compete. Fucking hell, by the time, within 10 years' time, that could be a sport in and itself, which is what they're trying to do now, that international MMA, whatever.
IMAF stuff.
What's the guy's name? What's the referee? He's doing it, isn't he?
Which referee?
The English one. Yeah,
Mark Goddard?
Yeah, he's
I
something
don't know.
to
Is he? I don't know if that's that or that UK mixed martial arts thing.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's the IMMAF or the UK mixed. I don't know.
I'm not sure. But whatever. But they're like. But you watch that and you're like, but this is an amateur sport. They've got rash guards on. They've got shin guards on. But they can make a good name for themselves on there, and that's essentially going to be the picking pool later on for your Cage Warriors and for everything else. They're not going to fucking go and watch that shit up in Swindon or fucking shit up SGS or wherever they're going to go and watch. They won't watch these. They won't bother to watch them amateur shows. They'll be gone. I think they'll be gone. Everything will be about that amateur league essentially, and when they're good enough.
The only reason I don't think it would... I get what you're saying, and like the higher echelons of the sport, the higher, like Cage Warriors and stuff, who would be at the top of the UK, they will, but of course everyone wants to make money off MMA. That's all that fucking MMA exists, because everyone wants to make money. And that's your sleazy promoters, that's your
any sport.
Definitely, but there's no money in like amateur football, amateur rugby, like with MMA. Pro MMA fighters are still amateur fighters. That's how it is. You're amateur athletes. You're amateur fighters. Just because you got a pro status, it doesn't mean anything. So the
only two pros that I could think where you are actually a pro would be James and Ronnie. That would be that I know personally. That I go, I know those people. Do you know, like if you're still going to work, to me you're not a pro, because you don't make enough money to sustain your lifestyle.
Like, so let's say someone like Nad
Nad.
Yeah, so like
sorry.
Nad, but Nad still has to work.
Yeah.
Had to work all through his UFC career.
Yeah.
Because the money's not there. He's got 2 kids. He's got a missus.
Yeah.
How can you feed him on 30 grand a year? You can't. So, and listen, I've trained with him for all of his fight camps.
Yeah.
He trains like a pro. There's no.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he doesn't have a choice.
That's
He
the
has to
problem
work.
with being here. I think that's the problem with being here. I think someone like him who's already got an opportunity, he's already in, he's already knocked on all the right doors, he's been training at Uriah Faber's. I don't know. But I would just take it, I would imagine that if he lived over there all the time, it would probably be a bit easier to sustain an athlete's lifestyle
100%.
over there rather than here.
So,
you know?
so when I did that thing across America, training at Black House as a pro MMA fighter, it cost me hardly. I trained for free.
Yeah.
Like, thankfully, Black House was like, yeah, you don't pay to train here.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
train for free. I'd finish training, I'd go, I'd walk out. I'm in California. There's always somebody to get something to eat immediately, decent food.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Go and get some food. Go back to my apartment or wherever I was staying, the back of the van, sleep, get back up, go training, boom. It was easy. I could just sustain it for a long time. Same when I trained at American Top Team. I would train, I'd go back to the hotel, I'd sleep, I'd go back to train, and it was costing peanuts, really. Like, when you consider if you did an 8-week holiday, how much it would cost you, it cost me peanuts to do that.
Yeah.
So if you had your own place over there, you could do it a lot, and a lot of these fighters share houses or have a bunk house or live in their van or something, you know, just that they can do that. That's what.
But could they still make their money in and around this sport? Do you know, like here, like there just ain't the money. Like if you said, right, well, I'm going to be a professional athlete, but I'm going to make the rest of my money teaching seminars and fucking, I don't know, coaching classes. I don't think there's.
You couldn't do that in America unless you were at the top, because who the fuck wants to book you with your free pro fights and free wins for a seminar when at the same gym you've got free UFC fighters training or something?
No, but I mean, like, but even not so much seminars, but like teach the kids class, put the kids class on.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do.
Money in your sport.
That's what a lot of people do. And I mean, the thing is as well here, a lot of the people who want to turn pro here, or a lot of people who do turn pro here, they have no interest in being a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Now, will that change? Cause you've got people coming through, like Jack Eglin springs to mind, right? Do you know Jack?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, so consummate professional, dedicated professional athlete. That I don't know what he's doing work-wise or anything, but that's what he does. That's his full. That's everything. And when you speak to him, when you look at his posts, that's a guy who's gone from amateur all the way through, stuck to it, and he is eat, sleep, breathe, MMA. Yeah. That's my career. This is what I'm going to do. But you get other guys who want to turn pro, but they want to have the best trainers and nice clothes, and they want to do this and want to have that, and they want to do. So they got to go work and they got to do all the other things and stuff like. Listen, this comes with massive sacrifice.
Yeah.
And when I say sacrifice, that's not just simply your time, your diet. Like, you're not going to be able to afford nice shoes. You're not going to be able to afford, because you're not earning money, because you're training 6 to 7 hours a day. Like, so when I was full time, I was working on the door. I'd still go work on the door, because I had a daughter and I had all these hobbies that I wanted to pay for. If I didn't, I could have just been cool. I had the gym, so that would have paid my money, and I could have just trained full time. But I worked on the door, so on evenings I'd finish like classes, I'd go there, be on the door for 10 o'clock, work till 4, get up, go train the next day. But that's because I wanted shit.
Yeah.
I wanted a new fishing rod, and I wanted a new cap, and so if you being a professional fighter has nothing to do with that. It's everything that matters to me is being that fighter. You see people like Clay Guida, who lived in I think he still lives in a van. Lived in a van his whole career outside Jackson Wink and stuff. Look, that's it. And like, I'd see these guys. I'd go to gyms and I'd see these guys who are in the UFC still living in vans outside now. And you'd think, fucking hell, man. Like, I think it's an amazing lifestyle, because I was traveling around America in a fucking van, so I thought it was wicked. But when you look back at it, you think, you're finding the highest level and you're having to live in a fucking van.
Yeah, but do they have to? Do they have to live there? It's like, I don't think that people are well enough looked after when they call themselves a professional athlete. They're not well enough looked after. So even like years ago, when the boys were involved with the football and we were pretty decent level football, you had an agent, and your agent would sort out your boots and bits and pieces like that. But you were looked after and you were taught.
But that's because you can't call
at.
yourself a pro football player.
Yeah,
you're a pro football player and
yeah.
you're signed to a team.
Yeah.
I can call myself a professional MMA fighter because I fight pro rules.
There's
And
nothing there for you. This is what I'm trying to get at. It's like, I can't ever work out why, if you were, say you were a professional MMA fighter.
Yeah.
You then get a manager. Manager wants to come in. Why are you not owning part of that company? I can't ever work this out. Why you would not own part of it? So if you were, say you were getting, say you were getting 10 and 10. So you got to fight UFC, you got 10 and 10, 15 and 15, but you got to pay your manager at that. Yeah. Why would you not try and buy shares in that management company so you're always making money?
That comes down to business sense.
Yeah, but why are people not looking after? I know that they're.
But again, I think that's because of the fighter, and also because look, the reason I haven't fought a lot for the last few years is this, yeah. People are willing to fight main event on shows for £350.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, a couple of years ago I thought, well, I could really push it. If I could have 4 or 5 straight back-to-back wins, there would be a chance at a UFC call-up, or Bellator, or maybe KSW. Because all of those know me, like Jude Samuel at Bellator I know really well. UFC, I've obviously got the Ultimate Fighter thing. KSW guys I've cornered there a lot. So I got links. So, I can really push. And I'm like, to have these fights, I'm going to fight for 300, 400 quid, main event on shows. Now, you know me, you know what I'm like when I train for a fight. I won't not do the sprints. I'll do the fucking hill sprints 3 days a week, no matter what. I'll do my cardio. I'll do my pad work. I'll do it. I'll do it all because I'm going to fight pro. I'm not going to do this justice for an injustice to myself. Yeah. So when you've got people who are willing to not put the effort in and fight for 300 quid, and the promoter just wants anyone on their fucking card because all they care about is money. Where's the career-minded people who are thinking, actually, there's a business here? There won't be a business. No. For most managers, there's not a business. No. Most managers will be part-time because they're only going to make their 15% commission, which is going to be viable or valuable, off of 1% of their clientele. Yeah. So
because I still think there's a thing of, you know when you're an apprentice. I use my thing like S&C guys. Yeah. So you do all your stuff, you get your qualifications, you get everything, and then they go, "Do you want an internship?" And you're like, "Yeah." And like, "All right, it's free." And you're like, "Yeah, all right." And you're like, I still think that there's an element of that they still think that the only professional outfit is the UFC or Bellator. So everyone's still running on like internship mentality until they get there. They're like, "Oh, well, I'll take this one because I'll win. I'll take this one so I get there. Then I can have a word with Cage Warriors. Then I can have a word with the UFC." That's how I think.
I think you are right, but at the same time, it's like Cage Warriors. The amount of people. You're obviously here. You see the amount of people we train, we work with. And stuff. People say to me, "Oh, I really want to get on Cage Warriors," and I'm like, "Why?" Like, "I'll get a contract with Cage Warriors." I'm like, "Listen, I already know you're in this for the wrong thing. You want people to see you on TV. All you give a fuck about is people seeing you, right? Fuck Cage Warriors for this reason." And I got a great relationship with Ian and Graham and a great relationship with Cage Warriors, and there's nothing against them. But if I fight on Cage Warriors, if one of our fighters fights on Cage Warriors at let's say an amateur level, decent amateur level, they win. Cage Warriors might not offer them a fight for 4 months, but you're contracted. Yeah. Like pro guys, they fight and then they say straight away like, "Ian, I won first round. You need a 155er in the next week," and they're like, "No, we got a fight coming up in July, but the card's full. If anyone pulls out, I'll let you know." But they're booking their cards 3-4 cards in advance. Yeah. So you're contracted now to Cage Warriors just because you wanted your mates to see you on TV and you're fighting twice a year. Yeah. Well, you're not going to get to the UFC until you've got a decent record. So you're not in the UFC now for 3 years.
What's the solution though? What do you do?
It's the people who are in MMA. It's nothing like, mate, this sport still suffers from the wankers who are in the sport who want to tell people they're professional fighters. Yeah. Like, come on, surely we're fucking past that yet. Like, well, oh yeah, it'd be good to get on Cage Wars. For what? For what reason? So your mates can watch you on TV and they can say, "Oh, Bob fought on fucking TV. How cool is that?" Yeah. It's not cool. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. Yeah. All it means is it slowed you down.
Yeah, but I also think that a lot of people look at that as the next rung up the ladder. So that's the first thing.
Which is the problem. Fuck the ladder. Yeah. Fuck the ladder. Get on and fight. Yeah. Get on and fight. Let me tell you something. If I've got a 10-0 record at pro, a 10-0 record, a couple of guys are on my record who are ranked top 20 in Europe. Do you know what I mean? A couple of guys who are ranked top 5 in the UK. I'm getting signed.
Yeah.
I'm getting fucking signed. There's no two ways about it. Like, if you've got a good record against good opponents, you're getting signed.
But where do you get the good
or then you
opponents?
speak to Cage Warriors and you're like, listen, I'm 10-0.
Yeah.
Sign me, immediate title fight. I'm Cage Warriors, you get signed.
Yeah.
Boom. Or they might even approach you.
Yeah.
We'd like to manage you. We'd like to build your profile.
Yeah.
From 7-0, they might have but you sign with Cage Warriors, and I feel like I'm doing Cage Warriors an injustice by keep mentioning them, but it's only because they're the biggest in the UK, let's say. So, and Europe probably. So let's say you sign with them at 5-0. You've got probably at least 4 to 5 fights before you can get signed to UFC.
Yeah.
And if you're getting 2
2
fights
years,
a year,
yeah.
that's 2 to 3 years. Like,
Yeah.
you could smash those fights out in a year. Like, I've had fights that have been over in a minute, uninjured, and if I wasn't such an idiot and liked fucking paragliding and stuff, I could have bounced one to the next, to the next, to the next. Like, Paul Reed, 6 fights in a year and stuff. If you're a young kid who's ready to go, stop thinking about what your fucking mates are going to think, because they're not here training with you. Their opinion means fuck all. Like, it's like me having an opinion on good ballet dancing. Don't worry, if you're a ballet dancer and I say, oh, your fucking pirouette or whatever looks shit, laugh at me and carry on walking, because I don't even know what a fucking pirouette is meant to look like. And it's exactly the same with MMA. Don't give a fuck what these people are saying, because A, they're not in the gym training with you. B, their opinion don't count. C, they probably thought Mayweather was going to Mayweather was going to lose to McGregor in a boxing match. So they're fucking idiots, right? So forget them, crack on, keep fighting. Get in your gym, listen to a sensible coach or a sensible manager who's saying to you, just fucking be in the gym and train, let me worry about your career for now. Get your head down, keep working, and then you're not signed into something you can't get out of, and it's taking the fucking long, drawn out fucking process, you know? And then you'll weed out all the fucking idiots who are in this to fucking show off to their mates, you know?
What do you think about... We'll just keep going about the MMA thing. What do you think now about... There's just nothing going on. There's no show anywhere for anyone at amateur level.
I think it's... So I think it's shit that there's now a monopoly in the Bellator and Cage Warriors are the only places who've got fights going on in the UK. And I think that sets a terrible monopoly for smaller shows. At the same time, I would like there to be less smaller shows, because there's so many greedy cunts who just want to make money off other people being punched in the face. They've never sparred a day in their life, they've never competed, and they want to make money off me getting punched in the face and tell me I'm fucking bad for business because I don't sell tickets. Like, so let's get rid of them cunts anyway, by whatever means necessary. The less of them there are, the better it is for everybody. That's one good thing. But I don't think a monopoly is good for anyone. Like when the UFC went and bought Pride. I know Pride was on his ass and it didn't have any chance of surviving. But once they'd done that, everyone sort of was like, oh, Japanese MMA will never be the same again. And it's never been the same again. You got like K1 and stuff, and it's all right. But the moment the UFC did that, it was obvious what the outcome was. The UFC are going to go to Japan. So now all you've got is the UFC. So it monopolised MMA at the upper echelons. Now, Bellator, Cage Warriors sort of have a monopoly because they're the only ones who can put together a show. So,
and that's just because of the money.
It's because of the money and because of how established they are. So instead of because a lot of these promoters want to just promote MMA, they want to just put on the shows and have people come and they want to take their money. People like Cage Warriors have been through the ringer. Like Graham Boylan has been through the ringer, and he's had the worst of the worst. Oh, Cage Warriors has gone bust. Grind and work, dig your nails in, pull themselves back out of it. Ian Dean is a matchmaker, has suffered complete shit abuse and stuck with it, put good fights on, knows who's who, stuck with UK MMA even when that's gone. So many shows, as soon as their show's not selling anymore, that's the end of MMA for them. And you speak to them, they don't even watch UFC for 3 years. So, I mean, you're like, that. It was a business for you. You just want to make money off these people. The people like Cage Warriors and Bellator they've ground. Like, Bellator is now backed up by the people who used to be Bama as well. Now, Jude Samuels and people like that work their ass off at Bama. So, these two big shows, I'm not saying they're not deserved of being on TV now and having but it sets the precedence where there's no route, like, who can come through.
Yeah.
And because everyone wants to get paid and everyone wants to do this, and you end up putting on 50 shows, you'll always fill the card.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you're always going to fill the card with dumbasses. I think you should make pro MMA harder to break into.
Yeah.
And then you'll get some actual professional athletes.
Yeah.
You know?
How do you do it? That's the thing. It's like,
other than licensing, I don't think.
Well, this is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like, do you go that way? Do you say, well, you need a license? You need to be able to prove to it, like the British Board of Boxing or whatever.
No,
you
need to license shows.
Not
Don't
the actual
license
athlete.
the fighter. No, don't license,
right.
because as long as you license the shows, the athlete can't fight.
Right.
So it's like this: the UFC can put on any fight they want. They can say, right, Ben Lambert, like 0-0, we're gonna get him to fight at your weight. Probably Stipe. So we can get him to step in
So
against
me against DC.
Yeah.
Nice.
Get you to fight Yoel Romero tomorrow because you're. The athletic commission are going to be like, what? No, fuck off. We're never sanctioning that fight, right?
Yeah.
So that's because they have to adhere to a sanction or a governing body. Because there's not that here. Anyone can put on a show as long as they can hire a hall and promote it. Local council could shut them down.
Yeah.
But license the production of shows. License license fight events, because then I can't fight on any show that's unlicensed, and if I'm worried about my license getting renewed, I can't have bad press. So I'm not going to have these guys who are like 3-47 coming and filling a gap. I'm going to say, we've lost our main event.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Because remember when Matt had somebody, they offered Matt somebody. He was
Sellers?
he was 11-1 at the time.
Yeah.
And they offered him someone that was 0-4.
Yeah.
They said, "Do you want to take it?" He was like, "No, this last 0-4 is a fucking retard." Do you know what I mean? He didn't. So that was on Knuckle Up, I think. I think that was a Knuckle Up or something. I can't remember what it was, whatever show it was. But yeah, it's not a bad shape.
Because so people like Cage Warriors and Bellator, they run the show like they're licensed.
Yeah.
They run the show like they're answering to a governing body. That's the way that their shows are run.
Yeah.
Weigh-ins are ran like you. There's nobody doing a video weigh-in with the news of the world there. I don't know if the news of the world exists anymore. But like a video weigh-in with blue tack underneath the scales, right? Like, that don't happen at Cage Warriors.
No.
You turn up to the fucking weigh-ins, and the reason we know you're going to be here, where are you fighting out of? I'm fighting out of Newcastle, shows in London. You'll have a hotel for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so that you got a hotel the night before to do all your weight cutting stuff in. You can check in from 10 a.m. But they're running it like they're already licensed.
Yeah.
So people think, oh yeah, but they got big backers. That's the only reason they stood out. No, what they've done is they've ran the fucking organisation properly. Yeah. So when people do come and they want to align themselves with someone like a TV company, they align themselves with the people who are doing it properly.
That's what I mean. But that goes back to the thing of, everyone wants to be a pro. But if I trained like a decent level amateur, that's the only thing I'd want to be on. If I was a pro, I didn't want to be on that. Because if there was more of them, that would be different. So people think that a TV deal's the answer, and that's because people want to be famous. This ain't the fucking Kardashians. Forget being famous. Someone's going to separate you from your consciousness. Fuck it out the window. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not. If you want to be famous, have your dick cut off, wear a fucking dress, and get on Instagram Live and give people fucking MMA coaching advice from a transsexual. I guarantee you'll be fucking famous if you do that. I guarantee it. Right? If you want to be fucking famous, don't pursue MMA. Yeah. Don't pursue. Right. Tell me how many of our guys in here, from amateurs to pros, if I said to them, "Oh, remember Jens Pulver?" We'd be like, "Yeah, I remember." Jens Pulver's one of the greatest guys to do it. It's some of his battles with BJ Penn and stuff. Like, they're not gonna know who he is. Like, I'm like, one of my good friends who I cornered in the UFC twice, trained with Chris Lytle, right? Yeah. Tell me, Chris Lytle, who never been subbed, never been knocked out, never been stopped in an MMA fight and in the UFC. Yeah. Tell me how many people out of 100 do we get in here would name Chris Lytle? 5. And that only because Dan already fought him.
Yeah, exactly. Really right. So and I'm saying if that, do you know what I mean? Like, look at even Gio the other day. Loves MMA, and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe Khabib got that triangle on the mount." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "To get it from that's exceptional." I was like, "No, that's a common move."
But here's the other thing: is a lot of these people are now watching it. They're coming over to the sport, so you can't go. If you didn't know fuck all about horse racing, and all of a sudden now you're really into horse racing. You probably wouldn't know much about horse racing for 10 years ago.
Right, do you know? No, do you know what? What would happen? This is what's happened. To
You
use your analogy, this is what people are doing.
Yeah.
They're coming over to never seeing a horse racing. They now start watching horse racing. They only watch a Grand National.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing with UFC.
Yeah.
Because they watch MMA, they watch UFC.
Yeah.
Watch fucking MMA. Like all these people are coming into the fucking into the UFC. Have all had careers. Yeah. Now that's the only way younger fighters make money, because you start following low level MMA.
Yeah. But
when you start following low level MMA, you get to see these people coming through the ranks.
Yeah,
You're gonna want. So you would have wanted to watch Conor McGregor way before he got to UFC.
Yeah.
So you would have been funding Conor McGregor's career way before he got there.
That's because it's easier to see that. But like, if you looked at any other sport, could you, if you watch, there's rugby on now, England's on now.
Yeah.
Name me 10 teams outside that Premiership in this country.
I couldn't name you a single person who plays rugby.
Do you know what I mean?
I always fell asleep when you said rugby.
The team. Just name 10 teams in that sort of Division 1, Division 2. Yeah. No one can fucking do it. Yeah. And that's because it's not, without being rude, ain't worth fucking watching. It is worth watching because they're good. They gradually come through. But it's the same as anything else. People only watch what's easily accessible.
I think this is different, right? Because I think fighting, someone's always going to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Every time someone's going to get punched in the face, there's a chance someone's getting knocked out. Someone's always going to have a submission move on an MMA show, because you're going to have like 5-10 fights.
Yeah.
Rugby matches can just be fucking boring rugby matches. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Football matches can be boring fucking football matches. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is fighting. There's always going to be a fight. You're never going to put on a fight show and there not be a fight. So, I think if you want to help lower end sport, you watch lower end sport.
Yeah.
You don't just watch UFC and then talk to me like you're an MMA fan.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, they have the same thing in boxing. Like, we went to watch Mickey. You know Mick. Obviously, Mick's teacher. We went to watch Mick's box. Amateur show. I think they had loads to pull out, and there was 6 bouts on there.
Yeah.
Of these 6 bouts, there was 3 of them that have been an ABA semi-finalist. Which was good. They were good level amateurs. There must have been 30 people there watching.
Yeah.
For a £5. For £5.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of nights before, they had a white collar show, which is as bad as you have ever seen anyone.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Fucking 400 people at £50.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, you know, we can't appreciate how good the amateurs are at any sport, whether that's boxing, whether that's whatever.
But this is the thing. Sorry to cut you off there, but this is really important that this point's made. 95% of all of those amateurs on that night would have beat up every single white collar fighter on there.
100%.
Would have smashed them.
100%.
Any white collar boxer who's out there now, you're not a match for anyone who's a good level amateur. It's not boxing. Like, there's not the amount of people who are walking around. Oh, yeah, I'm having a boxing bout, and I was like, you're not. You're fighting fucking white collar. You're gonna fucking be throwing your hands like you're taking change out your pocket at another guy who's fucking done his training watching the Drunken Master on Street Fighter. Like, this is not fucking sport. A half decent amateur will box your head off.
That is exactly what you're saying now. It's the sport. So that's where it becomes the professional MMA fighter, because there's not a national governing body, there's no sport there.
Yeah.
Do you know? Like, there's no one to be accountable to anywhere. That's what I think the biggest downfall is. But then you also get the thing of, once you've got a national governing body, they change the fucking rules of everything to suit the TV,
which is why you license the show.
Yeah.
So as long as you license the show has to, like, that's like the UFC in place and stuff like that. The show has to put on a fight that is sanctioned by the athletic commission, and the fight has to be deemed to be like a suitable standard. Yeah. We don't have athletic commissions in the UK, so all you do is you license the shows. Why? It's just a historical thing, I guess. I don't know. I think it's just because nobody gets sued as much as you do in the US. Yeah. So, like, all you do is you license shows, and you say, in order to put on your next show, we really like what we did in your last show, but there was a couple of fights we weren't sure about that. We can't keep being seen to give you a fighting license if you're going to let people who have no experience get beat up by guys who are really good.
Who then?
So then you get like a case of, right, here's my fight card's been put out. So the licensing people can look and say, hang on, what's this fight here? They can contact you, you're not putting that fight on.
Yeah.
We're not going to continue to give you a fight license if you're going to keep putting shit shows on. Yeah. They'll need to do that for a year.
Yeah, yeah.
After a year, they'll never have to do that anymore because every fight organisation will start putting on the appropriate fights.
Yeah.
Which means all the shit cunts who have had 2 amateur fights, one in 15 seconds, both of them, and then they want to go and fight pro, are not going to get on the card.
Yeah.
Because the licensing people are going to say, no, hang on, this is a dodgy fight, and the promoter's going to say, we can't put a fight like that on.
Yeah.
You know, they have to take some responsibility.
But who do you assign that job to? So like, who in the UK we go, what? He needs to be involved, and they need to be involved, and because what you don't want is a load of the same as what happens in any other sport, a load of basically shit cunts that are career sort of, not like politicians, but career sort of people that are not involved in anything apart from a sanctioner. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
of course.
who do you put in there? Do you put in
Like fight
referees?
judges who have never had fights, their whole careers judging fights, which I don't mind. You can have decent judges, but then you get things happen like the other night.
Yeah.
So in boxing, where people are looking at their phones during
Yeah,
fights.
yeah.
Now, hang on, if you've been around that circle for so long, you know everyone. Who's to say it's not easy to give you a backhander, the right person to
Yeah.
approach you?
100%.
Because you're a career judge.
Yeah.
You're going to want to take a backhander because you know judging big fights is going to be coming off the back of it.
Yeah.
So it does make it easy. But I think you'd have to get someone like Sport England or someone. You have to get someone like Sport England or someone involved who's got some clout. But at the same time, would they be the right people, and would they bring in the right people to? You'd have to get like some sort of body involved.
Yeah, because those bodies are to do with amateur sport essentially. It's the same as like the EIS. Like they look at athletics, they look at essentially Olympic sport, which are amateurs. You know, so they run it as an amateur thing. It's a fucking. They basically, I don't know the ins and outs, but a lot of it would be funded by a government, funded by fucking Sainsbury's or you know big sponsors. Do you know what I mean? It's like, where are you going to get that big sponsor for UK MMA? They can't even put a fucking. How many times do they have the UFC here?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, did they even bother to bring it here?
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
once a year, if the
Yeah,
most,
it's
once
like-
every 2 years.
And it ain't because they don't sell the tickets, because they sell the tickets fast.
Yeah.
But they sell the tickets fast for one show a year. Do you know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
like you couldn't use it like a Vegas. You know, it's not.
Well, people just won't come. It's
No.
not, and we're not big enough. We're a tiny little fucking island. So, yeah, I think you need.
I'm a
to,
fucking lazy over here. We can watch on the TV. We're lazy as fuck.
but also, mate, it's like tonight, right? In UFC, that Corey McKenna's fighting that Welsh girl. Do you know who she is?
Not a lot. I know.
This is the thing. See, so like. Women's MMA,
Yeah, I watch it.
you watch it every now and again, don't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
follow it. So someone like me who's into MMA, I follow like Corey's, because Corey was going to fight Lanchana Green, and I know Lanch, so I was interested when that fight got announced. So I looked her up then, but then she won her last fight. She's the first Welsh woman to ever fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
Amazing, but no, what's amazing was her career. The 5 leading up to that, and the 10 or something amateur fights she had, all wins.
Yeah.
She's fucking brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Like this is the thing, is that there's amazing people who you're not noticing unless they're in UFC.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, what? Like, EFC got some great UK guys in it. ONE FC, there's UK guys going there now. Like,
I like great. ONE FC is my favourite now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's. I prefer to watch that even now. Not. How do I put this? I prefer to watch the athletes on ONE FC, and I think they do everything. Like, it's free to watch. The Instagram is
People
amazing.
can still take juice.
yeah, but man, there's some random fights on there. Man. Fucking hell. But they like. I like watching it, and they sort of promote it real well, and I really like it. The level is, you can argue, the top level is as good as UFC, because there's people from the UFC that's gone across.
Yeah.
You Demetrius, Eddie, Alvarez, and stuff like that. So they've gone across. So, but it's still not the UFC.
No.
Man, even when you watch Bellator, it's still not the UFC.
No, exactly. It's not. No.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I think Bellator are doing brilliant things right now within the UK.
But then
Then Bellator have always been known to be fucking hard work with their contracts, because they really don't want you to go to UFC.
Yeah.
So they try and tie you up really tie you up,
Yeah.
and you're like, I need to fight. Like, I need to fight. And they're like, yeah, we got nothing at the moment. Like, no, my career's dwindling away. Like, I need. It's like right now. I'll fight. If anyone can get me a fight in UFC, I'll fight in the UFC, and I'll dedicate my life right now to fighting in the UFC. I'll train like any other person who's signed to UFC, right? Like, I was the first person from the UK to ever fly to America and do the tryouts. Nobody had done that. They picked Bisping by coming over here, right? I was the first person to do that. I had a shitstorm when I fought in it, and then my career does not on paper say I deserve to be in the UFC. I know that for a fact. Do I deserve to be in the UFC on my fight career? On my record? No, I don't. Do I deserve to be in the UFC for my commitment to UK MMA? Well, I would argue probably yeah, right? Now, people say, well then, knuckle down and spend the next year fighting. Which is what I was going to do this year. I was like, right, one last year, 4 straight wins. That'll be 5 wins from 5 last fights. We could fucking do this. I can fight for a title because I can do this. Lockdown, boom, nobody can train. So now I'm like, right, I'm 37. What do I do? Like, if the UFC ring me now, I'll fucking sign a contract. Let's fight. If you want to make it a one fight, one and done, let's fucking do that. I'll do it. Am I willing to do that to fight on UK fucking shows where, let's say Cage Warriors message me now, Wes, we've got a fight for you. Okay, who is it? Oh, it's this guy. Right. Well, I've got to win it because it's not going to do anything for my career, so I've got to win the fight. Yeah. Okay, if I win it, how quickly will you get me my next fight? Well, we don't know. Let's see how this one goes. That now I'm sort of stuck because I can't commit my whole life for this one fight. Yeah. I need to commit myself for the 4 wins, you know. I need to commit myself for that. So what comes next? So then you end up with someone like, and I know people like this, I would have to become a rolling fighter where I just stay ready, and if a fight comes up, I take it. Yeah. That's no good for me. No. I've got no interest in that. So now I'm in this predicament where, well, I might as well give up MMA. I might as well just say I'm retired then. Yeah, well, I'm like, it's your podcast. I'm not the one to poo-poo, but I... No, you do. No, you say what you got to say. But I also think that I think that you'd be better off now, from the outside looking in, being a coach. Yeah, like, I watch you coach, and I'm like, you're a coach. That's it. Like, to do it, you could probably put somebody... Not probably, we will. Between us all, we will put somebody on that UFC card. Yeah. We will do. Like, I have no doubt in that. But I'm just like, why, like you say to everyone, like, what have you got to prove? So now I look at you and I go, you don't need to prove nothing to none of us. Which is why I'm not pushing. Yeah. What my point of that was that you for someone like me, if the UFC messaged me, I'll dedicate everything to it. Yeah. Like, as if Cage Warriors messaged me and said, look, we want to offer you a free fight contract, I would say no, because I'm not willing to dedicate everything unless I know this is going to go here. This is going to go. So I've got to say, like, give me something that I can say I'm going to act like a professional athlete, because I'm not going to act like someone who's just fighting pro. Yeah. That was my point of this, which why I'm not training like I got a fight. I got no interest in chasing fights. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. If the Mario one would have fucking ever come, I'd have took it on a fucking heartbeat. But that's my principle. Yeah. I'm not actively looking. I've actually turned down 2 fights in the last month. Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm not training like I want to be a fighter. You know. Now I got to ask you the thing. So Anderson's just finished. Yeah. Finished. So and you're Dana White. So I'm basically like Dana. Not I'm in and around all fighting, but I'm not a fighter. Yeah. So I look at it the same way Dana looks at it. Chill now. You retire. You should have never been allowed to fight Adesanya. So there. But then you get Conor. He goes, you're a fucking fighter. Just find a level that you enjoy the sport of mixed martial arts. You find a level that you can compete at, and you can compete at that until you don't want to fight anymore. Where do you stand on that? Well, like if you were a retired footballer, you could come down and play at fucking Longmore Green until you're 60 because you enjoy football. Yeah. But the only way that Anderson is going to be able to compete is he's going to be beaten. Because what do you call competing? You call competing beating people, I guess. Like, because he can compete in UFC. Yeah. He's like, not many people are knocking him out. Do you know what I mean? So he can compete in UFC. But he's always going to be like a 15 and below fighter. Yeah. So what do you call competing? Beating people. But then, so Anderson, go and find people you can beat up. Yeah, that's what you're saying to everyone. Yeah. So go find people you can beat up. Yeah. Or go and find people who aren't quite good enough yet to beat you. But then you're not fighting. Like, that's not... Yeah. No. You've done everything. You've done everything that can be achieved in the sport. Rest now. Move away. Yeah. I think a lot of things of that is brain damage. Like, it's not competitiveness. Like, it scares me. Like, mate, right now, Saturday, I wouldn't mind if I ever fight again. Yeah. Never. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'll go home later on, I'll lay in bed, and the thought of never walking to the cage, never getting ready for it scares the shit out of me. The
Yeah.
thought of like never doing those vile cardio scares the shit out of me. But then that lasts for 5 minutes. For the other 23.5 hours of the day, I'm happy with the life that I got.
Yeah.
It's brain damage that make these people keep doing what they're doing because they can't find anything else. Their personalities become that. Now they're impulsive and they want to do this again. And they want, like, listen, Anderson.
It becomes a dogma, doesn't it? That they it's their thing.
Yeah.
It's Anderson Silva, the fighter.
And
Wes
I think
Moose, the fighter.
Any logical, sane, mentally astute person can say, come on, like I'm getting knocked out and it's bad for me and it's going to keep getting worse and nah, it's time to fucking walk away. Unless Anderson only trained half-heartedly, couldn't be bothered, and his Eddie thought,
Yeah, but then even that, because you train half-heartedly, that tells me enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Like we had it in here when the lads fought, and you can see it, and you're like, you're done now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's not because you're not good enough. It's because it's harder to get yourself up for that training.
Exactly.
And it's not because you're not good enough. It's because you're done. Like that's it. Like that's it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not.
But like for Diego Sanchez should not be allowed to fight anymore.
Yeah.
Like you're not ever climbing any harder than you are in the rankings. Why are you still fighting? Done. You're done. Like it's not. He shouldn't be kept in UFC because UFC are scared that he's going to go somewhere else and he's going to. You're done. Like you should be like. The athletic commission should say we're not sanctioning you anymore. You're at the level that you're going to be at. Look, you're not. You're going to keep getting knocked out by people better than you, and you're going to keep beating up people at a lesser standard than you, and you're going to float around in this, and you're going to be what's known as a gatekeeper.
But it's money.
Yeah, but do you want to keep getting knocked out as a gatekeeper?
What else the fuck
So
else are you
protect
going to
them.
do? Yeah, but what? Do you know? This is the thing. There's no.
But then, so
any sport,
but
there's
then-
no after.
no, there's not, and this is why mental illness is such a bad problem in combat sports, boxing and stuff, because lots of people are so all in. This is why people say to me, like, I've had it before, don't you wish you got your head down and fully committed? Well, yeah, no. Yeah, because the walk to the octagon for the UFC was always something I wanted to do, not as a cornerman, as a fighter.
Yeah.
Always wanted to do it. So yeah, I wish for that. But no, because if it is me and I'm over and I'm never going to fight again, I got a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of writing a book. I wrote a TV series. I paraglide. Like I got selected for the Great British team for Europeans for paragliding this year. I fucking base jump. I fly birds of prey. Like part of me would be like, fucking hell, thank God I can go and do this today. I ain't gotta be legit. So no, I'm not. I'm at no point will I look back and say, I wish I'd worked harder. I wish I'd committed more.
Did you ever listen to that? I only got sent it. It was Johnny Wilkinson. He was on the High Performance Podcast, or something it's called.
No.
If you ever listen to that, I'll send you after.
Good podcast.
Good, mate. He's fucking. But he's like, he comes across like one of those fighters that can't stop. It was all in.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. The blinkers were on. It was just that.
Yeah.
It was. I need to win the World Cup. Then he won the World Cup, and it was like, now what?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. Well, I'll win another one. Well, I'll coach another one. It just wasn't there. I think it's worth listening to because he seems like one of them people that would be a bit like that. Right, if you've got your head down, you've done it. But he got his head down, he did do it.
Yeah.
And he went no fucking better off than anyone else that didn't do it.
Yeah.
And in fact, he was probably worse. And I think that's the podcast basically tells him that. He's like, I fucked up. Like I didn't do anything. I essentially wasted my time getting to that level. He goes, I won the World Cup. He said, as soon as I won it, I was already on the decline.
Yeah.
I couldn't go any higher.
Yeah.
And it was a weird thing. But he's very like, it is good. It's worth listening to. He goes right into himself. He's a bit like, not like self-helpy, but it's like, I took a lot from it. I was like, this is fucking class.
Yeah.
Because I liked him. I didn't know him as a person, but I liked him as a person. I liked what he stood for. And he was like, I train harder than everyone else. I eat better than everyone else. I'm the consummate professional.
Yeah.
And it didn't mean fuck all. He's like, because I didn't have everything else around it.
No,
so
yeah.
In hindsight, you're probably in a much better place now than if you did get your fucking head down and make that one walk. Do you know
Which
what I
is
mean?
why I haven't got my head down. Like, and people say, like, I never have to question my ability because I've sparred some of the best guys in the world. I've trained with some of the best guys in the world. I've trained with some of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the world, and I've done it. Yeah, there's,
Thanks, mate.
so I know, like, and then I'll spar with pros who we've got up and coming, and I'll know I'll beat you in a round, definitely.
Yeah.
So I know I'm better than you. And I've sparred with guys who are active in the UFC, and I think, fuck me, even getting through sparring with you is fucking horrible. It's gonna be hard. So I know where my level is. I know what, but I'm not interested in chasing it. I don't mean anything. I would, if the UFC said they had a fight for me, I'll go all in because that was my dream. Like that was the thing. The UFC at that point was to fight there. I would do that, but I'm not going to get ready for a contract on Cage Wars. I'm not going to get ready for a contract on Bellator. I'm not. Offer me one fight and I'll say yeah or no. I'm not going to get myself ready for that because it doesn't mean anything to me. It don't. If I win, it doesn't mean that win was better than all my other wins and they should be discredited. And if I lose, it doesn't discredit all my other wins. So I'm like, what am I doing? Like, at some point, going out and flying my eagle and catching a fox will be better than going and winning it. Yeah. I'm just not.
But it's so weird. That's like a really close analogy to what he says on there. Yeah. He said it was like he was pushing. It was something to do with his kids. I think he's pushing his kids on a swing or something. And he goes, at this point, this is better than the World Cup.
Yeah.
And it was like, but he'd never ever thought of that position that he was in would be better than winning the World Cup until he won the World Cup, and he was like, this is much better. Like he brought all the way back down. Mate, I'll send you it. It's fucking interesting.
I mean, I referenced me because we're talking on my podcast, but that's not like none of what I'm saying is about me. I don't want it to be about me. Do you know what I mean? It's not about me, and it's not about my career, and I'm not in this dilemma. I'm torn about where to go. That's long. This ain't about me. We're just talking about me because I'm the fighter and you're the guy who's not the fighter. So to add my perspective, so it's not about me. It's more a reference point. That's more my reference point to people like Anderson for not wanting to give up. And I've never had that other than I always want to compete. Yeah. So I always want to fight. Like when we spar here and see people spar and someone hits someone too hard, I think, oh, fucking pass my gloves. And I want to spar. I want to fuck it. But that's just my competitiveness. That's the same as if you said to me, no, I'll run faster than you over 100 meters or something like that. You ain't running faster than me over 100 meters. Because that's me. I'm competitive. Do you know what I mean? So it's not, I've referenced me because I'm sat here, but it's not, at no point am I saying, I should do this, or I want to do this even, you know? Yeah. I'm just, from calling on my own experience, I think someone like Anderson, like you've had nothing else in your life that's replicated the things that you've done that were brilliant. Yeah. Couple into that a little bit of brain damage and thinking about, oh fuck, what am I going to do next? You're stuck. You're stuck with your identity as Anderson Silva, the UFC fighter. No. Your identity is Anderson Silva. Like I say to people, an MMA fight is a 15-minute representation of everything you've done in your career. Maybe 25 minutes if it's pro. If it's a title fight. 15-minute representation. So you've got to hope everything is a fair representation of what's happened there. MMA is a representation of everything else that goes on in your life. Now you can make MMA your everything, but it's still not. You still got your mum might be sick, you're dealing with that. Your wife needs this. Your brother's got a business and you've helped him out labouring it. So it's still a representation of your life. If it's the soul representation, I would say you've had a pretty poor life, even if you're the greatest guy in the world, even if you're GSP. But GSP had to leave MMA because he didn't have anything else in his life. Couldn't have relationships and couldn't.
It's exactly the same as this fucking Johnny Wilkins thing. Exactly the same thing. Exactly the same. But I don't think you get to that level of whatever you're doing without being like that.
Yeah.
Do you know? Now the problem comes is when you can't realise that they were like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Your GSPs, your Johnny Wilkins, when they don't realise they were they were a cunt all the way up to the top because they looked after one thing, themselves doing that one thing.
Yeah, but it's the Michael Jordan thing. So people who trained Michael Jordan said he was horrible, he was stuff like that, but you wouldn't have been as successful if it weren't for Michael Jordan, because he's the reason the team are like that. He was a cunt to you and he pushed you harder. And everyone on the team had to push to Jordan's level. We can't quite get there. Oh, hang on, Jordan stepped up again. We're gonna have to step up. So you can say, oh, Jordan was this, Jordan was that. No, but you're who you are because of him. Yeah. And you have to be you have to be that. And that's why, so when I coach and I come in here and I speak to guys, like, you know me, you know what I'm like. I have no time or tolerance for shit. Yeah. Talking shit to me, and like I'm like if you think you're going to know better than me in MMA, in your fucking wealth of 5 amateur fights, when I've made this my life for fucking 17 years, coached up to 100 people now to get into pro fighting. If you think you're going to know better than me, and you think you have more, you don't need to come to me for anything. You go and do what you do, and I'll give you the exact amount of help and advice as I think you deserve, and I'll concentrate on all the other guys. I'd rather concentrate on 30 guys who have never had a fight than one diva who's had 5 amateur fights who thinks he's big. It don't mean anything to me. Like, your success doesn't mean anything to me. Your commitment means something to me. Like, I'm not interested in how far you go with this. I'm interested in how much you put in right here, right now, because I'm going to see you before you made it. What you do there is more important to me than what you're doing once you made it. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, from a coaching point of view, I just think that the whole pro, like, the reason we got into this because of people like being a pro fighter, not a pro athlete. That whole thing comes from who you are in the gym. You know, and I just think, you need to just wind it fucking back and just say, like, I'm gonna be an athlete. Fuck it. I'll listen to my coaches. I'll listen to my team. I'll listen to my strength and conditioning guy, and I'll listen to my nutritionist. Boom, I'll make it like this. I think that's where you need to go. No.
Well, it's just hard that there's, like we're saying, there's not that pathway. I think that's what I'm trying to do now here. That's what we're trying to slow. It takes time, but to slowly get to that stage here where we will eventually encompass everything that you need to progress. And no matter, and I mean progress, not to become a professional. I mean to progress. Whatever level you're at now, we just want to go up. We don't want you to go down. We just want you to get better.
But in that, you're going to get told no, and you're going to get told you're not ready, 100%. And you're going to get told you shouldn't, more than you're going to get told yes. And it's the no's you should listen to, and every yes should use a question. If you come to me and you say, listen, do you think I should go pro? And I say yes, you should always say afterwards, really, honestly, do you think that? It should never be, brilliant, I'm going pro. Listen to every no I give you, wholeheartedly, don't question it. Every yes I give you, question it. 100%. Like, 100%, that's the way you should do it. The moment I say no to you, you should just, do you reckon I should go pro? No. Don't look for the next person to say yes to you. Like, think, well, I've put everything, I've entrusted everything with you. You've worked hard to get, your no means no. Okay, brilliant. Put your head down and prove me wrong. Make my no a yes. Don't look for someone else's yes, because if they come to you and you say, I think you should be pro, you still haven't got my yes. You can't come back to me smug thinking, well, Ben says yes. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what Ben says. It's still a no from me. In fact, now it's a bigger no.
Where's the thing is, I don't know fuck all. I know about that.
And you're going to get yeses from people who know fuck all, or people who know what they're on about, but they're abusing you. Listen, I could get any guy we got in this gym signed to a big show for a fight if a big show needs someone to come in and lose. 100%. Like, that still happens. Big shows take people and they think, listen, he's got an alright record, and people think about it, but he's going to get destroyed by so-and-so.
It's basically, that happened not long ago. That happened not long ago. It did. And he went there to lose. As it was, it didn't work out. And somebody else got a shot and they did well and did whatever. But this is fucking hard sport. It's fucking hard sport. It's all sport. Like any sport, you're so disposable, and you're only worth something if they need you for something. And that's any sport. You know, like that's whether you're a manager, whether you're a coach, whether you're a fucking S&C coach, whether you're one of the interns. As soon as you're not needed, you're not needed. That's it.
But so the great thing about this sport, though, is the bullshit gets found out really simply. So I can sit here now talking all the bollocks to you. The UFC ring me and say, we got a fight for you. And if everyone who's listening is thinking, Wes is definitely no good for the UFC. My bullshit gets found out when I go fight in the UFC and get my face punched in. And it's the same for that amateur guy who doesn't listen to me. Like, you can believe all you want. If someone's telling you no, you can believe all you want. When the door closes, you got to fight someone. Your bullshit's going to get found out. And you do not want to be on the bottom trying to get up thinking, I'm not fucking good enough, am I? This ain't where I should be, is it? Do you know what I mean? You want to be the guy on the top thinking, I could have been here 2 fights ago. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to. Being on the bottom, being elbowed in the face is a horrible place to fucking be, you know? Like, when Bear, for the last true champion, like, he got offered a pro fight, I was like, nah, I'm not taking it. And, like, Bear's like, well, I don't mind. I was like, no, Bear, listen to me. You're good, but you haven't been in situations yet where I want to see you tested and I see how you come out of it. Like,
because that kid, he fucked him, eh? They
fucked him. He had a pro fight before, and completely fucked it.
Because we watched it and we were like, oh, it's not too bad. He didn't look very good. And then he come back, he had a pro.
Lied, said he didn't have a pro fight. He had a pro fight. No one cared. But
I still think
imagine that was under pro rules, right? Yeah. So imagine that's under pro. What I want to see from Bear was something like. So I said to him, listen, I've never seen you on your back, being ground and pound, manage to listen to me, get the sweep. I didn't corner him for this fight, but listen to whoever. Get the sweep, get back on top, ride out a really bad round, come back out for the next round and think, right, I've got to find a way to fucking win. Go down again, grind out. If you're not seeing this from your amateur fighters, it's not time to go pro yet. Because these are the questions. Because how many people in here do you see do a mount escape fucking brilliantly? They never get mounted in training. But then they go to a fucking grappling comp and they can't figure the mount escape out and they panic and they get their back taken off of it and stuff. You can't have that. It's got to be, right, I've seen, but I've won all 6 of my amateur fights. I think I could go pro. Well, no, you have, but you've won them all from a top position or from your striking. I want to see you on your back with someone mounting you or someone taking your back. I want to see how you deal with it. Do you melt? Do you listen?
How do you get that without, how do I put this? How do you, so say you're, fuck knows, whoever, Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
Probably Anderson Silva didn't really probably get put on his back for 10 fights. I don't know.
But you just keep giving him harder opponents, so you'll get to a point. I'm not saying you keep everyone amateur until they lose.
No, I mean,
what I'm saying is there'll be a point where you say, he got to go pro.
Yeah.
He got to go pro. He's too good for this. I'm putting him against pros in the gym and he's fucking eating them.
Up,
He's ready to fucking go. There's not, I can't. A coach will see it. A coach will see it. Like, my decision is not based on your last performance. Because we've got guys, like, let's say Grant, for instance, right? If Grant lost his last fight and then Cage Warriors said we want him for an amateur title, I would still say, yeah, Grant can fight for the amateur title. Because he didn't lose his last fight because of his ability. Some things went wrong. He made one little mistake. We've ironed that mistake out of him now. He's not going to do it in this one. He's ready for a title. So, as a coach, you have to weigh up all the factors. Look at them all. Not weigh up a 3 5-minute round fight or a 3-3-minute round fight. You weigh up everything. How was he last Wednesday? Okay, well, last Wednesday wasn't that good. Right, okay. What happened with last Wednesday? Oh, he was doing this, he was getting frustrated. Brilliant. I'm going to fucking make it horrible for him. I'm just going to do all the stuff he's frustrated in. Because I want to see if he's shaking last Wednesday off yet. Okay, he did that. Wicked. That one's in the bank. Okay, right. Don't do great against Southpaws. I'm going to give him 3 Southpaws tonight mixed in and see how he does. Like, what did we work last time? We worked on this. So what? I'm going to coach him tonight and I'm going to say, land that 4-2. Bam, he lands the 4-2. Right. And that's what a coach is doing. Your next fight is based on every single time that I see you, not your last fight. So make every time I see you what you do on Instagram. Have you been running? I haven't seen you for a week. Where have you been? Sorry, I've had this going on. You haven't even messaged me. Or did you say, mate, I'm not going to be about tonight because I've got this going on. I'll try and be there Wednesday, but if I can't make it, mate, not a problem. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Don't leave your coach questioning where is he, what's he doing. Your next fight will be based on all those elements, not just your last fight. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be so. The guy who's now 7-0 amateur, and I'm thinking, I just want to see how he responds if he gets taken down. Is he going to post on the head, get immediately back up? His next fight comes, he don't get taken down. He gets off with a decent. I'm not going to hold him back. I'm going to say, we got to flip you. You've got to go pro, and I'm going to have to try and test that in training. You know? Because there will be a point where you have to. So it's fucking. I don't know. There's a lot and that's not to say that my way is the correct way of doing things either. You know?
No, you're not. You can only do what you think's right. Do you know? And you do what you think's right because of your own experience, don't you? That's it. Like I could get you in there. The way that you do things in a weight room is going to be different than the way I do things in the weight room.
Of course,
because that's the way that you did them, and it worked for you before. Whether they're it's not even a right or wrong. Whether they're more or less efficient, it is the difference. You know what I mean? It's like.
But the only thing is, if I come to you as a strength and conditioning coach, I want you to be my strength and conditioning coach. I don't question what you tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
You're telling me to do this. I'm not saying, but my other guy. So I shut my fucking mouth and I get on with it. And then when I go away, I think that's weird. My other guy told me to do this. Then I come back to you again, and then you do it again, and I'm like, what he's saying's working. I can see it working.
Because I got that bit going on at the minute. There was a couple of lads that did some stuff with us, and they've gone elsewhere and did some other stuff, and you can see what they're doing. You're looking at it thinking, well, this is shit. They're effectively making you worse. They're making you tired. They're making you worse. But then when they come back, they're like, yeah, I was real fit for like 3 weeks. You're like, yeah, you were real fit for 3 weeks.
Just by the way you're talking, I reckon you're talking from guys who've gone from Olympic lifting to doing CrossFit.
Man,
of course it is.
Man, not even that. Not even, and it's people that like they're not even particularly outstanding athletes, so they don't really compete at a very high level. But I'm aware of what it looks like. Man, I'm lucky. Like, I'm really lucky. I'm aware of what really, really good looks like because I've been around really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm aware of what really, really shit looks like because I've been around really, really shit. And I'm lucky that sliding scale, I know roughly where you are on that sliding scale, and we can put you where you need to be to try and get you up or down the scale, depending where you are. Yeah. Whereas a lot of them haven't. They haven't seen the good and the shit. Yeah. They've just seen Instagram. And then all of a sudden, now you're a coach now. I was like, all right, like,
exactly,
all right, yeah. So now you put on a fucking HIIT class, and you're like, a class, yeah, brilliant, like, fantastic for the fucking 6 weeks you do a lockdown.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to improve him next year? Are you going to improve them the year after? Do you tell me? Like, so this is what my head goes at my ass with it a bit as well. I'm like, are you questioning what we did, cunt? But you're gonna do that shit.
Yeah.
And think that's
there's no
right.
explanation. No, you're just watching something. No explanation. No backstory. No. Look, it's the same with.
It's graph for graph.
It's the same with the guys who have an amateur fight and then they're teaching MMA somewhere. Man, I'm like, hang on a minute. Like, are you not questioning your motives now? Like, you were with a team who you don't stick out in. You're not sticking out. You're not standing out. You're not a standout guy. You're now going teaching MMA somewhere. You're teaching other people. Right. Oh yeah, but I know how to this. I know how to that. Right. Okay. Yeah. But do you know how to manage people?
Yeah. Like, I have a weird thing because if you weren't here for a session or Chris weren't here or something, you'd have to step in and be like, oh, I've got to teach some sort of something.
Yeah.
And it's me, and I think I ain't fucking no way a fighter, but
you're a coach.
But I'm also aware that I'm not a fighter. Yeah. I'm also aware when I go, listen, I'm real sorry if this is real shit, but
it's not even that. It's not even that. It's your coach.
Yeah.
So what people don't realise is that the greatest fighters in the world sometimes are the shittest coaches because they do what they do.
Yeah.
But you're a coach.
Yeah.
Now, I've been lucky that
let me cut you off. This is what I was trying to say earlier with you. Your coaching, I feel, even in the last 2 years, like, I watch and like, well, that's fucking a lot better than, not that they weren't good before, but I look at him and go, you coach now. Like, it's in your, I look at you and go, the athlete bit of you, the fight bit of you, I think you could leave that.
Yeah.
And I would be happy for you to leave that. I'd be like, I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea that you left that, because your coaching level is improving. Like, I think, fucking hell, you're a fucking good, like, really good coach now. Do you know what I mean? And that's not like to do you a disservice before, or me being the all-knowing fucking coach.
If I hadn't progressed in the 2 years that I've been a full-time coach here, I'd be fucking gutted.
Yeah.
Like, of course, but and you, like I said about these other people, it's because I'm not. I don't coach one thing. I coach each person.
Yeah.
So you know how I coach. I don't show you a move and then expect everyone to go. I'll show you a move and then I'll go and coach everyone that move. It's like, I don't ever make a southpaw box orthodox because I didn't know how to teach them southpaw. Yeah. I need to teach myself how to coach southpaw.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way that I've always looked at things. So when I coach, like, you have to think about coaching the person, understand that people learn differently. Like, their learning processes are different. What upbringing have they had?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So let's say someone like Aksha, right? Aksha, who's had a quite a conservative religious upbringing because of, like, her race and stuff, against someone who is from Knoll West, who's a boy. Listen, the guy from Knoll West who's a boy, he's probably played sport his whole life. He's wrestled with his brothers. Yeah. Me and Aksha were talking in here before, and I said, like, oh, what, like, do your family know you train? No. My dad and that one, like,
to Raj.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So she, my family didn't know I train or whatever. I was like, cool. And then I was like, what about like upbringing and stuff, wrestling with like brothers and stuff? Was that frowned? Well, yeah, it was a bit. That's what people don't realise, is if you get someone like this, even a girl might have been raised, get 2 girls. One's raised with 3 brothers who playful, messed around. Dad put them in goal, and Dad was like, get in there with your brothers and play. Or a girl who's raised a certain way who didn't. You have to coach them differently. Yeah. Like it's. And you know Aksha, I know Aksha. You can ask for a better person to be in the fucking gym. Yeah. She's really good, she listens, and she really wants to be here. I'll have a room full of Akshas all day long, but you have to think of all these background things that might be an attribute. Yeah. It might not be. They might have been able to shrug it off and not think about it. But each person's got all these little different elements. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the incentive's different. People are here for different reasons. Someone wants to come in to be in the UFC, whereas someone else, they just want to roll.
Just want to lose some weight, or just want to,
like we had a girl when we were, I couldn't speak then. When we were with Chico, there was a girl. She came to train for a completely different reason than anyone else that we'd ever trained before, and the reason was her own personal reason, and that's why she was there. And it was like, you can't teach her the same. You can't teach her the same as Tommy. Someone like that, someone who was in the gym all the, like, fucking hell, I nearly said Tommy was in the gym all the time then. When Tommy was in the gym.
How many Tommys do we know?
When Tommy was in the gym, but he was there to go, I probably could have a good go at this MMA, I could probably get to Bellator, I could probably fight on that level. And she was the fucking complete opposite.
Yeah.
She was there for her own reason, and it was, but it's good. But this is what I was saying about the sliding rule. Although it's good and shit, it's also a bit whereabouts on their own development. Does that make sense? It's not even good and shit for the actual ability. It's their attitude, their reason for being there.
Yeah.
Do you know?
And as a coach, you have to recognise that. It's like if I come to you and I say I'm a professional athlete, I need to lift for this. I got this fight coming up. The protocol that you write for me will be based on, I'm fighting in 3 months, this is what I need to achieve. If I come to you and say, I just want to be able to lift a bit heavier and stuff, the protocol won't look anything like the same. Because it won't be tapering up, tapering down, this. You will manage the individual differently. When people come to a jiu-jitsu class, an MMA class, a grappling class, you manage them differently. You have to, because it's individuals, which is why I teach the way that I teach. Like, you're never going to come to my class and learn an arm bar and a rear naked choke in the same session. It's not going to happen, because the chances of you going for an arm bar, missing it, and being in a position to do a rear naked choke are 0. It's not going to happen. So I teach you the arm bar. What happens if we miss the arm bar? We look at then, can I sweep from here? Can I submit from here? I can do both. Right, let's look at both. Once we've got the sweep, now I've landed in side control. So then teach you a rear naked choke, because now we're in side control. How do we go from side control? So we go from an ever-evolving... Like, that's how I teach. Now, I do that for this reason. An arm bar is going to suit... If we got 30 people, doing an arm bar is going to suit 15 of those people, let's say.
I don't think I've ever put arm bar on ever.
Yeah, so, like... But you'll be in the same class, right? But you'll be in the same class. But I'm going to teach the sweep on the same night. The sweep really suits you because you're a top player. So, in that same night, the percentages in the class, someone's going to be able to use the sweep, someone's going to be able to use the arm bar. You can decide that from rolling. But now, both things are covered. Rather than just teach, here's the arm bar, let's do the arm bar 3 different ways. No. Certain people are not back players. We're not going to look at any more arm bars. I'm going to show you that one arm bar, and then I'm going to show you the sweep, then I'm going to show you something else. Now, what will happen is, as this evolves, I'll show the other armbar and show that links with that sweep. And that's the way that I teach. So that everyone is getting a bit and they piece it together for themselves. I'm not showing this and saying, right now, we'll make it work.
It's good. Again, we are lucky because we've been exposed to good, what you've been around, you've done. You've been exposed to good coaches. So, like, when Chico was here, Chico would never show you, he would show you the move, but it was the scenario. There's always scenarios. But I was like, fucking hell, this is like completely different than what I'd ever seen before. It was like, this is the armbar, but this probably won't work here. But it might work here. But we don't know. You could try. Like that was his thing. He's like, if you don't roll, you don't know. And you're like, perfect. But then, like when Leo comes, so you weren't here, really, man. So when Leo comes,
I trained with Leo though in California.
Fucking it's so. I really like the way he coached because it was so easy. It was like, man, it's this, try.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, all right. It was that easy. And he was like, someone asked him the question. They said, well, like, how the fuck do you teach Buchecha? Like, man, he's like the best grappler, fucking arguably ever.
Yeah.
He's like, I teach the purple belts to beat him.
Yeah.
I teach the white belts to beat the blue belts. Go. So we just teach the white belts something that I'm going to try and work on the black belts with later on. We teach that to the white belts and then let them go spread that through the club. So they'd fuck bits and pieces up, but they would teach it from the bottom. I thought that was a really interesting way.
Yeah.
Like
it's about, I think it's just like, because I talk quite matter-of-factly, and I find that a lot of the time people think that I think I know what I'm on about. No, I talk matter-of-factly because I think when I talk matter-of-factly, you're more likely to say, fuck off, twat, which is what I want you to say. Like, I talk matter-of-factly because I think I'm going to say, yeah, well, the thing is, if you do this, this is and this, and then, like, if I was talking now about, I don't know, a snatch. Yeah, well, the thing is, Ben, if you get people to stand with their feet just slightly wider than their shoulder apart, they're basically a bit bigger, a bit better. So when they push down and lift it, and you're like, don't be a fucking idiot. Their legs are going to be too wide. They'll fall backwards. And I'm like, no, you're right there. Yeah. But I talk matter-of-factly because I'm never the sort of person to say, Ben, if you were to open your legs a little bit wider, because I think that then you don't answer me with the correct question. You find a way to suit the answer to what I want to hear. I'm like, I talk matter-of-factly, so you can shut me down, bosh. Like, you know, and I think that's... But people misconstrue that sometimes as being... not arrogant, that's a bit too... But people assume that you think you know what you're on about. I'm happy to say, as a coach, I know fuck all. And it's for the simple reason, I coach my way. I've taken bits from everyone I've seen coach. Like, from any of the fucking places I've ever coached in the world. From coaching judo when I was fucking tiny, to amateur boxing, to fucking MMA, whatever. I coach the way that I coach because I've taken bits. But I always look at every single person as, I'm out to change something. I'm out to change something. I'm out to change something. But I'm going to show you something. And then, you get those cunts who in a class... This is what I mean about speaking matter-of-factly. I'll show you how to armbar. And then someone goes, yeah, well, couldn't they just do this? Yeah, of course they can. I've not said that this is the only way to do it.
But that's a child thing. So when we teach the kids in there, it's exactly the same. Yeah, but Ben, they could do this. You're like, well, yeah, of course they could.
Yeah, for every counter, there's a counter.
Yeah.
And for that counter, there's another counter. Which one makes it so good?
Yeah.
But I'm teaching you matter-of-factly because I'm saying to you, this fucking works. The percentage of times it works. And it certainly ain't 100% of the time. I'm telling you this works. But I'm not saying it's the best, and I'm saying there is definitely ways out of it. But I have to teach you matter-of-factly because I believe in what I'm teaching. But it's the same with how I talk sometimes. I talk quite matter-of-factly, but I'm open for somebody saying, cunt, shut up. That's wrong. Because I want that. I mean, I want people to say that to me. Do you think your outlook... Oh, because you had your daughter now, and you didn't have it last time. So, like, fucking... Do you think that your outlook has changed at all since having her, or she's too young for you to think about?
No, it's a weird one. So, obviously, like, a lot's gone on. Like, and, a lot of it is my fault or my doing. So you have to wear that, which is another weird thing. But yeah, it is changed. It's weird because everyone told me, they're like, oh, when she's born, that's it. Whole life changes. And I was waiting for it. I was sat there and I went out there for the first couple of weeks and I was like, I don't feel nothing. Nothing. Like, I was like,
got a smiling potato. But I was like, am I this bad? Am I that bad? Like, am I that much of a cunt that I can't even fucking appreciate this fucking here? Do you know? And it was like, whereas now, I fucking everything's about it. Do you know? My whole day fucking revolves around it, and it makes me question a little bit what I'm doing, and not in a way like, fucking he's in the gym all the time. He's fucking doing nothing else. What the fuck am I doing with my life? It's like, well, how can I make this better now? So it lasts long enough that she can be part of it, if she wanted to be part of it. Do you know? Like, I think, fucking hell, imagine if I had my black belt and I could give her a blue belt or something. Like the Mendes, Mendes brothers. Like, I can't remember which one it was, Guy or whichever one. And they were like playing with her. She was only like 4, this tiny little girl. You're like, fuck, what a fucking amazing thing.
So yeah, in all honesty, it has changed. And now I've started to think a lot more about the business side of what we do here. Do you know? Like, what is this really sustainable, what I'm doing? It's like, it was sustainable before because I could do what you did when you was in America. I could live in the back of the van and fucking it cost nothing, which is what essentially we've been doing here.
Yeah.
Do you know? So yeah, it has made me change and think about lots of things. Do you know? Like I gotta be honest. Like I want all that. A lot of stuff will happen together, and I don't think I don't. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't cope all that well with it. Do you know? I didn't. So she was born, and I was like, "This is class," but I'm not there.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, I'm not there. What sort of fucking bloke am I now?
Yeah.
That I've just had this. I created this, and I'm not fucking look after it. So that was the first thing. Then it was like, well, we got this little gym. Now there's gonna be a lockdown. Ah, that's alright. It's gonna be shut for 2 weeks, and that turned into 4 months. I'm like, right, so that I'm not fucking there for the baby that I fucking decided that I wanted to have, or we wanted to have. I got a gym that I can't fucking run. I was like, I didn't cope with that well. I gotta be honest, I didn't want doing that well. I didn't really want to chat to fucking anyone about fucking anyone. You remember we had a phone call. I was like, fuck it, just buy the gym. You can have it. Just fucking take it off, man. I was fucking in Bath Park. I was just like, I was fucking crying. I was basically crying. I was like, I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Do you know? There's a lot going on. And it's like, I'm really self-aware. Like, I know when I'm a fucking asshole. Like, I know it.
Well, 99% of the time.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Like, if I'm usually an asshole, I'm probably an asshole.
Like, I'm aware of when I do things. I am aware of when I do stuff. And I'm aware, like, where I'm really selfish. And, like, I'll take the piss. And I'm like, well, I want that, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really aware of it. So I was really aware, and I also didn't want to, you know, like everyone was like, you're fucking depressed. I'm like, I'm not depressed, man. I'm just having a fucking bit of a hard time at the minute. I'm just trying to piece the puzzle together. So I was really like, I didn't want to fucking go down that, well, you need to talk to someone, you need to do this, because I'm aware enough that I didn't need it. And I was quite adamant that I didn't need to speak to nothing, but I was also aware that I wasn't doing the things I used to do. So I used to train all the time. I didn't realise how big of a thing this was for me. Do you know? Like I didn't realise how much this place meant, or not even this place, but the people here.
Yeah.
And being able to train when I wanted to train, and be like, we're lucky here. We made like a little community of people that are, by the by, pretty fucking like-minded.
Yeah.
Do you know? We keep most of the cunts away.
They get weeded out anyway.
Yeah, because they get weeded out.
Yeah.
So I decided to surround myself, you know, with people that are good for me. Do you know?
Yeah.
Or that if I can help them, it makes me feel good. Do you know, when they come here for something, and like I might never even chat to them outside of here, but when they're in here, they make me feel good because I'm helping them. Or I know it's a selfish way to look at it, but it fucking is. That's people. What people do.
From that sort of environment, there has to be a reward, either financial or like your reward is how it makes you feel. Like no one's gonna keep doing it if it keeps making them feel shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So the fact that it makes you feel good is a brilliant reward.
Yeah. So we were lucky that we've got that here. So I was quite aware that I was like, look, I just need to just ride the shit out for a bit, and then gradually bring it back. So like, I still have a thing of like the training. I didn't realise how much I needed that, because I put on nearly 3 stone by just eating shit and fucking going, it'd be alright. It'd be alright. And in reality, it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It was just another thing then that was just on the top, and you're a bit like, oh, fucking hell.
But then you feel you actually physically feel shit. Yeah. As well as mentally feeling 100%.
Shit. 100%.
And then you're also, it's a harder spiral to get out of. So
I was aware that I needed more training. We used to go to the meditating thing. We used to go to the meditation center all the time. I didn't do nothing. And we used to go to like do lots of yoga, lots of running, nothing. So I was aware that I wasn't really putting the right building blocks in place to get myself back up to where I needed to be. That's one thing. And the other weird thing was, when, I don't know if you get this, when you're like in here, you are sort of like the alpha, but like the sort of like the alpha male. So people come to you for advice. People come and they'll lean on you, do you know? And people, I know people that have like fucking bad, we're in a bad place, and they would ring you and be like, mate, I'm just gonna let you know it's just this and this, just because I just want to talk to you. You're like, yeah, same. So then I was a bit like, oh, so all the people now that thought I was alright are now gonna think I'm a fucking idiot. I'm like, or like
a hypocrite.
Or like, what is he giving advice to? He ain't got his own shit in order.
Exactly.
So then that made me worry about stuff. And luckily, like, you know, I had nice people around me. People were nice to me. So it was alright now. And we're fucking... So like this lockdown, I'm like, we're alright. Because we've got a little thing. We're putting the pieces in place to make us better. So it was a weird time for me when she was born, because I was really, really, really happy. And within a month, I was like, this is not all that fucking clever, is it? I didn't really know, do you know? And lots of stuff went on. I didn't really know what I was doing. But it seems like everything now is starting to, like, it feels like in my own head, I've gone through the hedge. You know when you go into, like, you're a builder, you buy a property, the back garden's fully overrun with shit. Now it feels like the hedge trim's come out for a bit. I can see, I can see, like, that's where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to sit by that little pond, fill up with the koi carp. Like, I'm trying to get down there. So it's a weird one for me.
I mean, luckily though, you got a girl. So what you've got now is years and years of fucking head banging. Like, trust, somebody's got a 19-year-old daughter, mate. It's horrendous. It just gets worse and worse. But you'll be alright. You just got she'll be fucking.
Well, I
put it on you.
Made a video. Like, I was on the FaceTime with her this morning, and she was like fucking about, and then she just sat there and like looked at her like that. I was like, "You alright?" She went, and then carried on again. I was like, "Fuck, this little shit's gonna be like this forever." Yeah, that's gonna be my life now. Mate, do you know? I'm just gonna be fucking.
Honestly, but
I can't wait to I cannot wait to do the Bad Boys thing. I can't wait. Fuck you, big shocker. That's my dream.
Listen, that's a dream. But what happens is they shag people behind the school disco and that. You're the last person to know. They don't say, "Dad, someone's picking me up to go out on a date." They've already been fingered 4 times. It's lunchtime.
It's such a weird feeling. But that feeling is such a like I can't grasp that at the minute, because it was. I'll be honest, it was even weird. Like the first couple of times when they changed the nappy and stuff. Yeah, I was a bit like, well, am I alright touching this or what? Like, like, I can remember saying, I was like, is it alright to do that? And like, because otherwise she's gonna be fucking dirty, ain't she? I was like, oh yeah, alright. I was like, it's just a really weird.
Get the Albanians in and kind of just scrub it like your car.
Yeah, but it's just a really weird fucking feeling for me. And then now everyone's like, whoa, imagine that when she's like 14 or 15. I was like, huh? Nah.
You ain't got to clean at that age, mate.
No, I'll be
listen, if you're still cleaning at that age, mate,
not me.
I'm going to question it. What the fuck?
Not me.
You need to break this down a little bit. I don't know where you're... Why are you cleaning it at 14 and 15?
Not me cleaning nothing.
I stopped at 12.
Look, if something happened one time, but like, it was like what I mean is, like, obviously I won't be cleaning it, but eventually she's going to have a partner. Whether that be a girl or a boy or a fucking alien, whatever the fuck. Yeah. And they're going to be doing stuff I was doing at 14 and 15. Yeah. That is a fucking weird feeling for me. Because at a minute, it seems really, really far away. But then everyone else I speak to, they're like, man, that comes around fucking quick. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Real quick.
Like, I can't even give you any advice either, because, like, my daughter was always really open. We were always really, really close. And, you know, I've always been like, listen, I want you to take drugs. I want you to take drugs, but not until you're like in your 20s, because you're going to take drugs and it's not going to mean anything to you. Yeah. And then you're going to get to the point where you're fed up of taking drugs and it won't mean anything. I'm like, if you wait, when you take them, they'll mean something and they'll be fucking brilliant. I'm like, some drugs are fucking brilliant. Yeah. I was like, and you should take them, but not yet. Just wait, do you know what I mean? And the other things you advise, like, listen, sex is good. Sex is fun. But to be fair, sex with people you don't really know is quite often shit. And, don't be in a rush to have sex, because you're really not missing that much of a thing. Yeah. You're better off getting to know people and establish relationships and valuing sex for you. Look, I said all these things to her, but at the end of the day, I don't know who's fingering her and when, and I'm not. Do you know what I mean? It's not. You can say all these things, but I tell you this much: her friends will have a bigger impression on her than you.
No,
so my advice to you would be, and this, I'm gutted that me and my ex split up when my daughter was 5 months old, and we never worked together as a team. It don't matter whose fault it was for that, but for me, I wanted to raise as a family. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got like you're a partnership, and there's like always this like continuity to what you're saying and what you're doing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my advice is find things for her to indulge herself in that is with like-minded people, because like my daughter went to a comprehensive school with people from Bedminster and Ashton and like whatever. Of those people, the mass percentage are going to be raised with families who are like families like yours and mine were growing up. Do you know what I mean? Like you go out, you don't come back into this dark, and as long as you're in, you're not getting told off. But no one knows what you're fucking doing. You're just off doing what you're doing, and your allies are your friends, your enemies are your parents almost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you raise them and get them into things like say jiu-jitsu, playing instruments, singing, like doing ballet, they're surrounded by people whose family are also getting them to commit to that thing, and they're less likely to want to do the rebellious stuff. I think people rely too much on it being a case of you should be a good parent, your daughter shouldn't want to go out and get fingered if you've raised her properly. No, if you hanging about with a group of if you're a boy and all your mates have fingered a bird, you want to finger a bird. All your mates have kissed a bird, you want to kiss a bird. Likewise, if you're a girl and all your mates are talking about when they got fingered, I'm not saying you want to be fingered. What I'm saying is you think it's the norm. I'm 14, well, I've been fingered yet, let's say. So when your daughter's surrounded by people who are like-minded, like, oh yeah, we've got this dance show coming up here, we've got this coming up here, we've got a reading group, an acting group, a sing, whatever it is, there's more distraction from the peer pressure of I'm out on the street, drink 2020 and just see what happens. Do you know what I mean? So I think my advice is that invest her time in lots of different social groups and let her find, as opposed to just mixing with her friends in school. Do you know what I mean? Because your input in her life will be minimal at a certain point. Like my daughter's been all over the world with me, mate. Like my daughter's probably been to 300 MMA fights. Cornering people, like she's walked holding the bucket out to LJ's title fights. Do you know what I mean? Like she's been involved in everything. She knew everyone. She's been to all the falconry events. She's done everything.
I bet she loves the falconry, doesn't she?
No, she loved it. She wanted me to get her a bird, so I get her a hawk. So she trains a hawk, right? Trained it. But just one day just stopped. Didn't want anything to do with it anymore. Like she trained it. I taught her to train it. She trained it. Got videos of it. Just one day stopped because she wanted to go out and get fingered, I guess, with her mates. Like, whatever it is they were doing, like hanging around in Bedminster or whatever it was, she wanted to do that, no matter all the things that I'd done. And that's why eventually you got to understand, you're not going to be her mate. You will, you can be a good parent. Her mates are always going to be her mates. So I think make her circle as diverse as possible. And then you've probably going to have a group of people who are saying, oh, we're doing this, got this dancing, or we're into reading, rather than, oh, fuck that off and just hang on the streets with us. Do you know what I mean?
We were quite lucky. Like even like for myself growing up, it's easy. It was really easy because I was good at sport. So it was easy.
But also, you never had no internet or anything really, like now.
No.
Like there was no like Facebook, no Instagram, You weren't wasting. If you were in at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday, you were probably bored. Do you know what I mean? So you would go and play football. You would go and do something.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, like now, if you're like the amount of people who are out with their kids, like at restaurants. Let's say we're in a restaurant when we can go again. Just look around, see how many kids are sat.
Mate, I swear, I went to Bath. I was walking around Bath once, and there was. It don't matter where the people were from, but these people were like Chinese or Japanese, like whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like add all the mod cons, everything you could possibly see, and they were in I took a photo of it. I couldn't fucking believe it. So it was obviously a whole family. It was obviously the grandparents, the parents, some kids, and some tiny little ones. Every single one of them was either on a phone or iPad. None of them looking at each other. They're all sat in line. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that fucking sums it up. Do you know what I mean? And I know like, it didn't matter where they were from, but they obviously had the technology from China or whatever, but or on the Apple, or on the iPad thing.
Which I think is
watching. It's like,
but I think
where the
that's
fuck is
why,
the conversation there?
I think that's why kids do rely on their friends a lot more. Because when you go out with your group of friends, hanging out in the park, you're talking about what's going on in the internet. You're talking about when you're at home, you're not listening to your parents because you're on the actual device.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the actual interaction, the personal interaction, it's coming with your friends. They're the ones you confide in.
Yeah.
Your parents aren't. And I think I my daughter's a fucking mental piece. I mean, I'm going through it at the moment with her. Like, things are pretty bad at the moment, like with things that she's doing or done or choices she's making. So I can't give advice from someone who knows. I'm giving you advice from someone who's made mistakes.
Yeah.
Thought I'd give her everything. Thought, when, mate, it's £10,800 in 6 months. She could have a brand new, not brand new, have a car, pass her driving test. Every school, I never got to go on like skiing trips when I was in school. She's been on every school trip, every new pair of trainers, like whatever she wanted, she had and stuff. And I realised it was the social aspect of her friends and listening to them, which causes the divide with us.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing is to make it as diverse as possible.
Yeah, I think we'd be lucky in that way, because up there, they're not like we are here. Does that make sense? Like, they're obviously very sort of, they got fucking money. They're middle class people, middle to upper class people. They do what they want. They speak multiple languages.
Yeah.
Down here, I'm fucking stupid. Yeah. Like, fucking, do you know what
I mean? No, you're not. Like, academics, but this is the thing for me. Like, I think that, so when I look at, like, you and me, let's say, like, I'm council estate. Born and raised council estate. I mean, okay, my mum and stepdad got really lucky, made millions. We had the lifestyle. Then they lost everything, and we went back to a council estate.
Yeah.
So I've always been council estate, raised council estate, lived on a council estate. But I would say I've been intelligent enough or lucky enough to be surrounded by people where I've taken myself out of there. Yeah. So now I'm in the council estate looking at the people whose aspirations to remain there, they're not the same as me.
Yeah.
You get people who are from a council estate who think
that's it.
That's it. Their goal is to be that. Do you know what I mean? Like, as for me, I can look back on them and I think, not like I'm better than them, I think that's not me. I shouldn't be here. I can transcend this. Do you know what I mean? And I think even though you are from that, you're the same as me. You've transcended the council estate, and you're looking back at it thinking that ain't for me.
Yeah,
that's not.
It's a weird.
That's
thing.
where I'm from, not where I am.
I had a real weird thing because I never wanted for nothing. I was lucky as fuck. Never wanted for nothing. Whatever, if they had it, I had it.
Yeah,
if they didn't,
same.
We couldn't. That was it.
Yeah.
But every fucking football game, they were all there. Every fucking school match of anything, they were all there. It was like a running joke. Like, my mum and dad used to stand behind the goal net. So I was playing goal, didn't I? You used to be stood next to the goal net. So it was a weird thing. But I almost thought I was too good. It's not almost, I did think I was too good. I got to the stage where I was like, I could see what that looked like, what the rich people were doing. I was like, yeah, fuck me, that's a bit of me, that is. I was like, that is what I'm going to be like. And then here's the thing, I tried to fit in with that. Instead of going, well, what I can do is, I can use all my skills and I'll bring myself up, I just went, I'm going to jump to the top bit there and just blag it. And that's it. I did it for a bit. I didn't really realise I did, but I think I did for a bit. I blagged it a bit. I was a bit like, I'm fucking Johnny Millionaire here. I was like, you're fucking not. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're still a fucking donut. Like, but
not only are you not a millionaire there, so you're pretending, you're also still this. You're doubly pretending.
Exactly.
Like, you're not just pretending to be one thing, you're pretending not to be another as well.
This is fucking, it is a recipe for disaster, as it was. Fucking.
Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you baked yourself the right little situation.
Yeah. Well, he was like, but it's good now that I can see him. I'm like, because at the time you just do it. You're like, well, everyone else is doing it. So that was the norm. The new norm become the norm. And it took for a bit, and I was a bit like, I don't really think I'm fucking cut out for this. And I went for a real weird thing where I was like, listening to lots of people as well, and not just friends and peers and stuff, but listening to lots of people like your self-help life. We can get out of this, and you can do this, and you can do this, and fucking like
Tony Robbins and people like that.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. And and I was like, I think with those things, you got to take it with a pinch of salt, really big fucking pinch of salt. And I was like, there was a thing. You know Dan Pena? Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Same. So it was like, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
And with a real thing, I was like, well, that's it then. I'm going to fucking start hanging about with all my rich people that I know. I'm going to hang about with them. Well, it was, but it was that. And then I look back now, and like the people that I used to even train, I was like, I was trying to train them because they were real wealthy. And I was like, that'll rub off on me, that will. I'm like, it's only now I've come back down again. I'm like, what a fucking asshole. These are the cunts that are fucking doing that shit that I said is never going to last. They're the fuckers that followed that. I'm like, you're a fucking asshole. Why would I ever want to fucking try and aspire to be that shit? Do you know? We'd be much better keeping what we got here and trying to bring everyone together. Like, if we all want to go, we all go. If we're all happy staying what we're doing, we'll all stay and do what we're doing. Do you know? Like, I think I put so much pressure, like, to make myself fit in that situation. But I didn't start off with, but then it definitely did turn into that. Do you know?
Not sustainable, that, mate.
No.
Not, like, you're just not...
And you make yourself look a cunt. And that's
for
what
both
happens.
sides, on both
100%.
sides. You know what I mean? Because it's not like the people where you're coming from are not looking at you thinking, well, fair play to you. You're doing... Because you're not... But you're turning your back on this.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say like me being an MMA fighter from Council Estate, people could look up and say, fair play, you're fighting all over the world, you're getting your head down, you're working hard. They're not going to say to you, who's just turning your back on that because you're pretending to be rich, fair play because you're pretending to be something you're not, but at least you're not being this anymore.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, what are you doing, you cunt? You're not one of them. And people like that are going to he's not one of us. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and in reality, I was already doing the things. So I just didn't think I didn't understand it. Like, I was already doing the things to get myself in a better place. Like, I started this place from nothing. We worked hard, we did it. We got Chris in, we got Mickey in, we got you in, we got different people in to come and do bits and pieces. And now it's all right. Like, we're doing all right, you know? And then, like, outside of here, I was, you know, yeah, it's weird. It's fucking weird. But I was basically faking it.
Yeah.
That's the long and the short of it. You were like, I tried to live up to what somebody else was telling me on the fucking internet.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense to me.
But someone who's getting paid money to tell people that. That's the thing you don't forget as well. They make their money from telling this shit.
Yeah.
So it's cliche. It's more cliche and bullshit you can make it, the more money you're going to be worth. Oh, I'll keep making it cliche and bullshit then.
Yeah. But that's my fault. Yeah. Because the things they're telling you is not wrong. You're just taking it too literal. Yeah. Or you're taking too much of it and not.
But you're not applying it to something. You're making it something. Exactly. So like you tell these things, but you have to apply that in your life. You don't change your life for that. Yeah. You apply it and like make the application the bit that's worth the effort. You know. But like it's the same like here. Like what people don't like other big gyms like locally or nearby who've got fighters and stuff like that. Like they don't want people to come and train with us or something. And like we're open door. Come here. Yeah. If you want to come here. Like I'm of the opinion like there's not many people more experienced than me in MMA in Bristol. Yeah. Because I've been all over and done it. Yeah. So if you want to come and learn. Like if you want to be serious about MMA, I should be one of the people you should speak to. Yeah. And while you do that, I'll tell you, you should go and see so-and-so for jiu-jitsu and you should go and see so-and-so for wrestling because they're here. Fucking utilise them. Yeah, and like other gyms that seem a bit like, oh no, keep them here. They're our precious. Yeah. And we're like, all the time, me and you are laughing at you. Like we're laughing at them because we're like, we're not in competition with you. Yeah. We're laughing at you behind your backs because we're like, we're trying to work with you. And all be fucking one thing for everybody. Yeah. And you're trying to shut your door. You'll suffer. Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I was listening. I can't remember what. Somebody gave me some real good advice. It was like. It was probably me.
It probably might have been. It's about physios. And it was an S&C coach that he said, well, yeah, I got physio. I outsource all my physio work to them. And somebody sort of asked him, he's like, why are you giving your work away? He goes, I'm a fucking S&C coach, not a physio. He goes, why would I try and blag it that I'm a fucking physio? So we have the same here. If you come in and say, I've heard, first thing, go and see Paul. You go see Paul. Like that's it. Yeah. First thing. And it's like, I didn't fucking get any money for it. Yeah. But it also, you can add value without taking money.
Yeah.
Do you know? We're trying to add value to these people. So if you are injured, you go see a physio. I'm not going to blag you. Say, right, I got the perfect rehab program for you. It's 200 quid. I'm going to come and do it. We don't even know what the fuck's wrong with you.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to send you out somewhere else.
It was like when Grant did that PT course that he did. And he's like, oh yeah, I got to like teach PTs and stuff like that. Yeah, and I was like, sit down. You're rehabbing someone from a fucking shoulder injury. What's the first exercise you're gonna? How are you gonna establish what?
Yeah.
Where they're at? He's like, well, I was like, right. What you've got to bear in mind is your PT thing means fuck all. You've ticked the right boxes and you've got a qualification here. I was like, what you're doing is you're sat down with a strength and conditioning coach and a professional athlete, and you can seek as much advice as you can and start applying that. You then can go to your other gym who's going to let you teach PT there now because you've ticked the boxes, and you can have a little corner and you can teach, or you can seek advice from the other PTs. And what you might have to say is, listen, Olympic lifting ain't really my thing. I'll send you to Ben. Ben, I got this client, he wants to Olympic lifting, mate. He's better off coming with you, really.
Yeah.
And palm the money off to someone who's better.
Yeah, like
I try and blag it.
I can remember having not an argument, but with Chile. So Chile was class. Teach you everything about everything. It's class. Yeah. And he was like, I want you to teach some Olympic lifting. I said, I'm not fucking good enough at it. He's like, yeah, but it don't matter what you're good enough at. You can teach it. I was like, yeah, but because I can't do it, I don't want to teach it, which is another weird thing. But you gotta, like, it's not Grant's fault that he doesn't know these things. He's only learning what he's been taught.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's not what he wants to learn, it's what they want to teach.
Yeah.
This is the other thing.
So that's why I say it to him. And then now he does his PTs here and he asks questions and he'll seek about, like, he was doing a PT here the other day and I left him to it and I pulled him to the side. I was like, listen, that triangle, I've got a better way for you to show that.
Yeah.
And I showed it to him and he's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Because this is the thing with Grant. Grant will fucking listen, man. Like, I don't know who thinks that Grant, like, I used to think it about him. I used to be really dismissive. I was like, fuck him. He don't want to listen. Grant will fucking listen. He'll work hard. He'll do it. But my whole point in that is not a criticism of Grant. My whole point is, like, you're around people who know how to do that or do know. Come to them and be like, right, so where do I go from here? What do I do? I've ticked the boxes, but where do I go next? What's my next avenue? And Grant is more than willing to do that. So it's not a criticism from Grant whatsoever. It's just an example of when it happened. Like, and then so you come, but don't be afraid to say, I don't know that, so I'm going to pass you over to so and so. Now, if you come to me to learn how to box, right? I want to be a boxer. That's all I want to do. I want to be a boxer. Yeah, wicked. I'll teach you. The moment I think, fuck me, this guy's got potential, I'm sending you to Andy O'Kane.
Man, we had the same conversation the other week.
Yeah, you're going to Andy O'Kane because he's a boxing coach.
Even the guys here, the guys were like, right, we're gonna box. They were gonna box in that boxing show. Yeah. It's like, what do you reckon? I was like, well, you need to ring Andy now. Like today, like it don't matter what we can teach you. Go and speak to the best you can get.
Exactly.
If you've got the money and you can go and see someone who's better, then you go. And I fucking would.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if no matter what it was, like, man, if I really want to be good, like, man, I play at everything. That's the problem. I just play at everything. I'm not that bothered whether I'm that fucking good or that. I don't care anymore. But like, the reality of it is, if I really wanted to go and see someone really fucking good at jiu-jitsu, then I'd spend my money and I'd go to fucking California and I'd fucking stay there.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's where the best ones are. Do you know what I mean? Like, whether you're going to go with Galvao, whether you're going to go with Mendez, but depending on your body, do you know what I mean? Or Leo, or Chico.
540 into you fly through.
Man, whatever. Or you spend the money, you go, I want to be a no-gi specialist. Man, I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to pay my $500, $600 for an hour. I'm going to sit there at Gordon Ryan every fucking day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I think, especially when you coach, you gotta be open to let other people in. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no absolute. I don't know fuck all about fuck all.
Yeah.
Do you know? Like, it's like I always try and give credit where credit is due. I pinch this from DeFranco. This is why we're going to use it here. I pinch this from Louis Simmons. This is why we're going to use it here.
Yeah.
It's the people that go, yeah, but I didn't. No, I invented that.
Yeah.
They fucking never.
Mate, my Instagram posts, you'll see me post all the time. I say all the time, come and allow me to teach you moves I've plagiarised from other people. Because that's what I'm doing. And listen, I might have improved the way that I was taught it. Yeah. I'm not saying this person's great because he showed me that. I might have taken that and thought, if he's actually twisted hip, he'd have made that better. Yeah. But I've taken it from someone and I've adapted it. And then there's someone who, they've shown me something that I knew and they've made that even better. Because, listen, I didn't invent any of this shit. Yeah, I just fucking study it.
But that is the thing. Like, you have to be able to adapt to whatever it is. So, like, man, I always go back to Chica because I always look up to him. Always. Do you know what I mean? So, when we were training him for the Worlds, it was, if you had the textbook out, it would all be wrong. So that textbook is wrong for what he was doing. Like, he's really dominant one side. So when he lifts stuff, it looks weird. It looks weird. He's also, he will not warm up. Man, I'm going to do this. Nah. Oh, all right then. Put 200 kilos in that bar, lift it. I'm like, we're like, it's like this, is it? This is how we're going to fucking teach this. Ben. 200 kilos today. I'm like, mate, today is a fucking recovery day, like on our sheet. Like, do you know what I mean? He's like, nah, I'm in. I'm like, oh, right. So it was a weird thing that we have to adapt everything to him. It's a real weird thing, but that's the thing. You have to be able to adapt to whatever's there. Because with you, we had when the kids were in there the other day, we were teaching that sweep, whatever the foot sweep was. I was like, I must have watched that 3 or 4 days in a row to make sure I was like, I'm going to teach him that fucking foot sweep class. And it was a Galval one. Yeah. I was like, class. I was like, so I got in, I was like, right, kids, I'm going to do this. Put the gear on, I'm going to pull this. I was like, does that look right? You're like, nah. It's like this. And I was like, all right. But it was different. Like, I knew what I taught was right because I've fucking watched it for 4 days. And if that cunt Galval saying it is right, that's fucking right. Yeah. But when you come, you've seen what they were doing. It's like, yeah, but this is better for them. Yeah. And that was it. Like, we adapted to, or you adapted to what was in front of you. And that's big skill,
and
man.
luckily you didn't, and as a coach, you didn't say, nah, I'm not teaching that one, Wes. You thought, that actually works better, so we'll leave that.
Look, because your knowledge is there. Look, and it don't matter if your knowledge comes from a black belt or it comes from a fucking white belt on their first session.
Of course
everyone's got something to offer.
And everyone's going to teach you something.
Yeah.
All the time. Because, so this is why I let people ask me questions when I'm teaching. At the end of everything I show, now you can vouch for this because you've been there when I've taught. At the end of everything I show, any questions? Everyone got that. And then the amount of times, someone will ask a dickhead question, it'll always be Troy. But anyone can ask me a question, white belt or not. Because they might ask me a question, I might go, actually. Or I might go, all I got to do is, actually, I'll come and show you. Because it won't apply to 90% of people, it apply to you. I'll come and show you, actually, Because, and it's not a reflection of who I am as a coach, it's a reflection of all the other coaches I've seen. Like, you look at them and you think, excuse me, because I've been there with judo, you didn't get to ask questions. Yeah. You got shown your move, you go in Randori, you go in Ushikomi, you go in Randori. Look, there's no asking questions. You shut up on the mat and you get on with it. It was like, that's how it was. Yeah. And it was fucking horrible. Yeah. So, when I started going places like jiu-jitsu and stuff, and in Brazil, like I'm training in Brazil, and I doing gi with the Graces and hated it. I was like, listen, can I train with the pro? Can I go and train over there? No gi. Like, that's all pro fighters. I'm like, well, I'm a pro fighter. Like, I just want to do no gi. I'm not like, I don't know. So it's Babalu in that. They're all in the. I'm like, I just like I want to go. So I went there. I got fucking smashed. Smashed, mate. 13 times got subbed in the first session. I'm like, fuck, man. So go back on the evening. 13 times I get subbed. Counting the subs. Go back the next day, get subbed 14 times. I'm like, fuck me. I'm shit. That's it. I'm crap. Go back the next the evening session, get subbed 11 times. Like, actually, I might have turned the corner here. Went back the next day, subbed 14 times again. I'm like, oh man, what the fuck. Go back the next day, and it was Carlson Gracie calls me over. Goes, hey man, you roll, man. You don't try. You must try. I'm like, why? He goes, no. When you try not to be subbed, you don't sub, man. You try. And I'm like, fuck. How am I ever subbing anyone if I'm not trying to sub people? If I'm just being defensive and thinking, I'm not getting subbed that much. Oh yeah, I didn't get subbed there. I need to sub people.
Yeah.
I need to try. And that's what I thought to myself. It don't make no difference how many times I get subbed. I just have to try stuff. I have to play.
I'm in that place now. So I'm in that place where I'm not getting subbed. Not that much. I'm like, but I'm playing.
Have we not rolled for a while now?
But I'm playing not to get subbed.
Yeah.
Like not to win. Like
yeah.
They made it. They said about the other Sunday morning like, fucking never sub that little cunt. You're like, yeah, because I'm trying not to get subbed because that's where my level of jiu-jitsu is at the minute.
No, but it'll stay there for ages.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like, so you'll see me coming here and I'll drill a single leg X. But then when I roll, where do I start every time? On my back, and I go for single leg X.
Yeah.
So I'll spend 5 weeks doing nothing but starting on my back. Single leg X, single leg X. How many times do I teach butterfly guard? You look around and both people start on their knees. And you're like, I've just been teaching butterfly guard.
Yeah.
Why have none of you thought about going to your back? Because they didn't want to be subbed by their opponent.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? When we were doing when I was getting ready for Polaris, tell me a submission I did on anyone that wanted a leg lock. There weren't any. Because I was just thinking about my leg locks. I know I can rear naked choke you. I know I can dash choke you. So I was just trying to leg lock everybody. So that when people were escaping, I was thinking about where did they go? Where's my next entry? I know I can sub you with a rear naked choke. Why am I going to keep trying with a rear naked choke? If you've just been at a class and everybody in the class has been drilling butterfly guard, at least one of you should be starting in butterfly guard. Yeah. I don't tell people, right, let's have one person in butterfly guard because I want to see how you behave. Yeah. If you all come out and both start on your knees, I think, what's wrong with you, cunt? I have this with Troy all the time because me and Troy speak a lot after. I'm like, you were a cunt. Like, I don't care. Do you know how many times you sub someone tonight, Troy? He's like, yeah, I sub someone 4 times. I don't care. I was like, that's why I don't know how many you sub people. I was like, if I cared how many you sub people, do you think I'd know? He's like, well, yeah, of course. I was like, it don't mean anything. How many people do you sweep with the butterfly sweep? He's like, oh, well, not anyone, but I didn't try for it. That's the problem.
This is my thing, like now, even when I start here, like, I almost look kind of, well, I am fucking lazy, but like, I look kind of lazy. I'm like, I'm led on my back, I'm playing this stuff. I'm like, because in competition, like, I've never fucking led on my back. Never. Like, never. Like, you watch all the videos. Like,
but there's being led on your back and there's being led on your back because it's easy.
Yeah.
Like, the reason my butterfly guard was good when nobody's butterfly guard was good was because I only played. But I went to a seminar that Marcelo taught, and it was butterfly guard. I was like, wow. I mean, years ago, 2008. So I was like, wow. So I started playing butterfly guard every time I rolled. Yeah. Every time I rolled. So my butterfly guard's quite good now. Yeah. So I'll roll and I'll go butterfly guard just because I'm looking for certain sweeps. Yeah. But that's what you need to do from your back.
Yeah, but I always go a half guard. I'm always half guard because
but then your half guard sweep should be so good that you're not there for long.
Yeah, but then because I want to play, like, man, it's the same thing as the joke they will say. It's like, oh, you go back and then wrestling. I'm like, man, I don't know no wrestling. I just know that I got to scramble like fuck to get to the top. That's it. That's all I know. I got 2 sweeps. If they don't work, then I'm fucking scrambling like fuck to get to the top, and that's it. But so that's where my jiu-jitsu is at the minute. Like, I'm playing a lot. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like,
you should always be playing.
Yeah, like, I'm playing a lot.
It should always be a game. It should like, I mean, I don't know if I can even call it jiu-jitsu because it's not really jiu-jitsu. I do it's grappling, right? Yeah. Because I like fucking chin straps and shit like that. I love them. They're a massive part of my game. But you should always be playing. You should never be competing. Yeah. You should never be competing here. I remember Troy said to me before, like, we'd roll, and he's like, yeah, you didn't sub me though, did you? I was like, no, I didn't. So next time we rolled, I fucking smashed him. Because if I'm trying to sub you, I'll sub you. You've been doing this for a year, and I'm your coach. Yeah. So the chances are I'm a little bit better than you. I've been doing it 16 years, and I'm the person you've come to teach you. So I smashed him. Because, like, I went with Screech the other week, and I subbed him 4 times in a single row. He's like, fuck me, you're on fire tonight. I was like, I just wanted some submissions tonight, so I went for him. I can do that every time to you, but I'm not playing then. Yeah. I'm putting it on people who aren't as good as me. Do you know what I mean? Like, as a jiu-jitsu player, you should not be trying to win anything until you're in competition. You should be playing with stuff that you've been taught. Yeah. What's going wrong? Like, for you should be playing from your back. Yeah. If you've got 2 sweeps, you need those 2 sweeps to lead to 2 things that are definitely not going to fail. Yeah. And now you need to add another sweep, so you've got 3 sweeps. Yeah. And so even though you've got 2 sweeps, you should be getting out with one of them, 100%.
So now I've started to, like, think, oh, well, I'm going to go from, like, I play this long half guards, and then now I'm like, I'm going to go deep half, try and get underneath and and have a look at legs and backs and shit. So that's where I'm starting to play now. Yeah. But then I can see everyone going fucking
mad. It's like mount escapes. So you know, if you come to this club, what's the first thing you get taught?
Yeah.
Whether we're doing them or not, you get put in the corner with someone. Can someone go and show them Olympian's mount escape?
Yeah.
Right? You get shown that mount escape. Now, I'll show you other mount escapes, but when I get mounted, what's the mount escape I use?
Yeah.
Because it fucking works, right? It fucking works. And I've got it to a T, and I make sure everyone here's got it to a T. As soon as I see someone in pro MMA, you should not fight pro MMA if you can't mount escape. You shouldn't. You shouldn't be fucking. You shouldn't have your purple belt if you can't mount escape.
Yeah.
You should be able to mount escape. When anyone mounts you, you should be able to mount escape. Go for it. Boom. Same with you with sweeps now. If you go for your sweep, you should get it. If you don't get the sweep, you've got the second thing that it leads to. It shouldn't be, right, I'm going for this sweep. If I don't get this, fuck, I'm on the bottom. Yeah. No, I'm going for this sweep, and if any point I feel like it's being shut down, I'm already transitioning to the next thing.
Yeah.
Because no move you go to the end result should be if I don't get it, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
It should always be if I don't get it, it leads me shit into this anyway.
The better, like, it becomes like I'm in that place now where I'm obviously better than people in here. Yeah. I could do what I want then.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then the ones that are like better, I'm like, oh well, that works with everyone else, and you're still stood there. I'm like, well, why don't you give me no pressure? Like, I need your pressure because I need to get out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And that's the place I'm at now. So it's like, and then now everyone's trying to play leggy stuff and shit like that. So man, I fucking love it. It's nice now that you can have like the jiu-jitsu guys to come across and start to play no gi.
Yeah.
Because they don't get their own way, and you can see, like, even with Gary, you can see like sometimes he don't get his own way, and like, you can see his brain working. But that's gonna make all of us fucking better.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? Because in the gi he gets his own way. He's like, because he's fucking good. Shit hot, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas in the no gi they don't get it. We can play a bit, and you can scramble a bit, and you can fucking be a mong, and stick your head in his fucking head and try and pass and be. Do you know what I mean?
There's a reason white belts are the most dangerous people on the mat.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that, because the better you get, the more inclined you are to play and not make it a competition. Yeah. Like, all right, we'll have times near where I'm like, no, fuck you. Like, it's on. It'd be a hard, but generally we're playing. We're trying to do stuff. I'll give you my back, or I'll do that, because that's what it's about. It's about fun. It's about play, and that's what jiu-jitsu should be. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're never gonna get better if you're competing all the time.
No, I'm much happier. Or the best thing I think I've ever done is start to train jiu-jitsu here. Like, and it sounds weird, because when I'm training jiu-jitsu before, or not here, but like with Chico, like when we're training jiu-jitsu with Italo, I wanted to fucking win.
Yeah.
Everything. And then when we come with Chico, it was like, well, I can't win that. I can't win that, and I can't win that. Like, I reckon Chico's only subbed me probably twice ever.
Yeah. Because
he don't fucking need to.
Exactly.
You don't need to. He tires me out to such a place where I basically led there, like, and now, even when I'm fit, I'm like, fucking nowhere near this cunt. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking nowhere near him. And he lets you fit. The worst bit is when you and Rich is the fucking worst. When you're like, I've got this, and then it's gone. And you're like, fuck! Like, it's just fuck. I worked that hard to get that one thing, and then he just does that horrible little laugh in your ear, and you're like, fucker, it does your head in. But that's the thing that keeps you coming. But I honestly think doing the jiu-jitsu is one of the best things I ever did, because it fucking it helps everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get surrounded by good people. There ain't that many fucking assholes in the range. The only weird thing you get with the jits is the jits politics. Yeah, I can't deal with that. Fucking idiots.
Like, you don't buy into that. I've never fucking bought into that. Which is why I say we do grappling here, because it's just easier. And people say, well, it's not, alright, then it's not BJJ. And I'm like, okay, it's not. It's grappling then. Yeah. I can't be fucked with the politics. Like, I'm a man who's come to this because I want to punch other people in the face in a cage, and people are going to punch me in the face in a cage. I'm not interested in your political side of things. We're coming here to roll around on the floor, right? Let's be as best we can at rolling around on the floor. That's where the politics ends for me. And if there's someone else who's good, like when I was in America, I spoke to Ped. I was like, Ped, listen, I want to go and train, but he's like, train everywhere with everyone, train everywhere, boom. And that's like, wicked. That's good. That's how it should be, you know. Like, but, I mean, I get it. When you're affiliated to a club, I'm not obviously going to be under Pedro and then training down at Gracie Bar. Of course not. I'm in Bristol. I train at my home club. Do you know what I mean? But I just think you just go where the best people are. Yeah. If you train checkmat in Bristol and you're the black belt who's subbing every single person ever, and you've got then go to another club. Yeah, definitely roll with other black belts. 100%. Speak to Chico and say, listen, I need to go and roll with some other black belts. I'm not getting look. Do you know what I mean? go and do that because that's what it should be.
Yeah.
Like, and that other club should understand. Yeah, he needs other people to roll with.
Yeah, of course, because that's how it's going to go.
Yeah, exactly. But fucking hopefully soon we'll be able to do it again.
Yeah, it's fucking doing well then. I was just going to ask before. I didn't know how long you were to fucking keep chatting shit for, but yeah. Do you think this has all been a good thing where all these people that got all these gyms all over the country are like, stand up for your rights, fucking do this, do that, shut your fucking... Do you not think now that we've sort of made... Look, I understand, we all got to stay together because they fucked us all.
Yeah.
They have fucked us all. But have we not sort of made a rod for our own back now? Because we've made such a fucking kick up, such a stink about it, that now they're coming down almost fucking 10 times as hard as they would have come down before.
I think that what should have happened is people should have said, no, we're not closing. No, because none of it makes sense. I'm not going to argue with the science. I'm not a virologist, and scientists know better than me. So if the scientists are saying we need to lock down, then the whole country should lock down. Yeah. It shouldn't have been, right, we're locking down, but not big corporations and not this and not this, and not the people who have actually got money, but these places. Well, hang on a minute. Gyms are proven to be less than 1% of infection rate throughout 100,000 or whatever it is. The R number with gyms is less than 1 or whatever. Yeah. So gyms don't have to close, do they? Because when you look at building sites are actually a lot more worse. No, gyms have to close and building sites can stay open. Like, hang on. We're meant to be talking logic here. The scientists have told you to close the whole country down, so close the whole country down. Well, we're not going to do that either, though. Yeah. I'm like, Wales the other day. I literally heard the guy from Wales say, yeah, well, the actual case rate in Wales is a lot higher than when we went into our circuit breaker, but we said we'd open up, so we're going to.
Yeah.
What? No, listen, why can't... We're either being logical or we're not being logical. I don't want to... Fuck your conspiracy theories. Let's not fucking pretend that fucking 5G causes that. I'm not interested in it. I mean, I've got no interest in that shit. Let's talk logic and sense. We have a virus that is killing less than 1% of everyone that it infects. Of those people who die, the average age is 82. So... what's the average age of gym users and what's the contraction rate in gym? They don't correlate at all. So why are gyms closed? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That makes no sense. No. I mean, and so I can't. No, yeah, but the people who go to gyms, then it's about them going and seeing other people. So then you make it strict and you say, listen, we're not closing businesses because you got to be fucking sensible. Yeah. But you will kill your elderly relatives. Yeah. You make it. You lock up. And lock up sounds really bad, but you lock up or make secure the people who are vulnerable. So the 80-year-olds, the care homes, the stuff like this. Yeah. You make it protected for them. You don't punish the whole of society because we're now getting to a point where suicide rates are through the roof, mental health struggling.
Well, I think you should just be allowed to go if you want to go. Like if you're like 85, like our Gramp. So if our Gramp could get up and about and do whatever and go out, he fucking would. He wouldn't give a fuck about a fucking virus. He would go. He'd be like, man, I've had a fucking heart attack. I've done this. I've had this.
But under the rules, he'd be allowed, right? And he's the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right? But under the rules, he'd be allowed. But 25-year-old Tom is not allowed to come to the gym, although he's fit, healthy, lives on his own, says he'll never go and see his nanny granddad, so he's not infected, will wear masks every time he goes shopping, has proven he doesn't have COVID, but he can't go to the gym.
Yeah.
But 85-year-old fucking Gramps can go walk around Tesco. Yeah. Like, it doesn't make sense. And that's the problem for me is you didn't listen to the science when they told you to lock down. Then you locked down 2 weeks later, but now you're not listening to the science again because you've only done a little lockdown. Yeah. Like,
well, I just can't say where they go, right, well, we're going to lock everything down apart from the schools and universities and stuff. You're like, where's all the fucking cases coming from? All of a sudden, we let all the kids go back to school and the universities go back. Yeah. Man, you go to uni, you're sensible enough that you can go to university.
Get a degree in something.
Yeah, you're also really fucking stupid because all you want to do is go around fucking everything.
Yeah.
And taking loads of drugs and fucking doing well. Well, you should be doing it fucking 18, 19, 20 years old. Yeah. Like, you're not going to stop them interacting with people.
And so the obvious thing for that is that the government are thinking, right, but if they're all at home and not studying, they'll all be out partying and that anyway. So then there'll be illegal parties, and then we won't be able to keep track of them. At least we know where they are.
Yeah.
So I get where they're coming from that. It's the completely illogical stuff that I can't. It doesn't make sense. Like none of the shit makes sense.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
All the clothes shops are shut.
Yeah.
But if you walked out of here naked, someone will report you, and you get done for walking around with no clothes on.
Yeah.
So fucking explain me that. Do you know what I mean?
Like Argos and stuff. Oh, you can't buy anything in Argos, but you can click and collect, and you can return stuff. I can click and collect, yeah. So I can't buy stuff from Argos. You can't come in the store and buy it. But I can, have I got to come in the store to collect it? Yeah. I don't understand the difference. I don't understand what you're eliminating here. I really don't understand what the elimination is. Can I walk around Sainsbury's? Yeah. How many people are Sainsbury's allowed in? Well, as many as they want. Right, so Sainsbury's can have as many people as they want in. Yeah, but I can't train in a room with 4 people.
Yeah.
Right, so me, my two labourers, I pick both of them up on the morning. We drive to Bath and we work in a house with my brother. So there's 4 people from 4 different households and we all work together.
Yeah.
We then drive home. The moment I drop them at their house, we're not allowed to go out and play golf together. We're not allowed to go play tennis together. We're not allowed to go and have a kickabout on the field together.
Yeah.
But it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I can pick you back up again and go to work.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. That's the issue here. This is why we need to stand up and say, no, I'm having none of this. I'll lock down, I'll follow the rules, but there has to be some logic to the rules.
But I think everyone did the same thing. So the guys, you know, that guy, what's his name? The Liverpool guy who's made like big headlines, the chap with the glasses and that. Man, fair play to him. Fucking class. He's like, no, I'm not shutting this, not doing this, not doing this, and we're going to fight it, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. Fair play. But I just don't see where it gets us. Any of us. I just don't see...
Because you all got to follow suit.
Yeah.
That's the thing, mate.
But then what happened then? They had that kiddie yesterday, didn't they?
Aaron Morton, the tattoo guy, you heard about him in Bristol? Early skin, won't shut down. He puts feeds up all the time, issuing like common law £10,000 fines to the police and stuff like that.
I seen that other guy. There's a guy in up around Leeds or somewhere. He was doing the same thing. It was like, it's common law, man. So you can't do this. I've not entered into a
contract.
Yeah. I thought fucking, again, fair play to you. But then, yesterday, I was reading the thing where Brett got 67 grand, I'm sure it was a gym, 67 grand fine, and got arrested for it.
Yeah.
This dude's now got a fucking criminal record because he didn't shut his business.
But that's why everyone has to do it.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't have... If 10,000 businesses do it, it's not enough. Yeah. Everyone has to do it. Because the police can't shut down everyone.
Yeah.
They can't shut down everyone. So, everyone has to do it. You have to stop the bollocks. And this is what annoys me on Facebook, right?
But the problem is now, you do it once. So we do it once for this thing. Something else will come up.
You have to stick together.
Yeah.
Because then they'll stop. The government will stop. They'll say, right, we can't do that. We're not a dictatorship. We can't do that. We have to manage this properly. Because if everyone said, no, I'll be logical. I'll be logical here. I should not have a restaurant and people shouldn't be coming in and eating and sitting down. I'll be logical. That I accept that has to shut. I accept that perfectly fine. But gyms are not a problem, so I accept that gyms should be open. And if a restaurant owner can accept that people shouldn't be allowed to come in and eat meals, they'll be more inclined to accept that if they can go to the gym, because they've still got their outlet, they can go to the gym. So they'll say, it is really unfair for us, but unfortunately that's where we fall. We fall in that category, you know?
And that's where we are now. We're just in that category of shit. Like,
but you're not, you're in
the fucking air.
But you're in, but the gym isn't, like, because it's proven that the category is not a high risk one.
Well, it's the same with the tattooist. You show me a cleaner place than that.
Yeah.
it's
fucking ridiculous.
There's no cleaner place than that.
But it's also like now, the report is they won't allow you to fly unless you've had a vaccine and stuff
mate.
But this is where the conspiracies come from, because I don't see any logical reason for this, why we're trying to lock down and control a virus with a 0.01% death rate of people who are over 80 years old. Well, we're going to have to lock down. This is why these conspiracies start to hold water, and you're going to get to the point where it's going to be civil revolt, and then that's when I think going down a conspiracy first rabbit hole, which I'm not. I just like to question everything. So, but that's when you get to the point where you think maybe that's what they want. When there's civil unrest, they can control everyone. They can give a reason for a curfew and a lockdown and making this permanent. They're actually waiting for us to all kick off. So that's you just don't know. And people are they wouldn't do that. I'm like, have you studied the history of governments?
Yes.
Have you been to Korea? Have you been to like? It's happening across the world now. Like, it's not. So I don't know. Like that's again conspiracy theories. I think you look at the logic. And when the logic where there is no logic and there's no sense to what's being done, you start to question what the motive is. Then, you know? So, yeah. But it's like all these people, the conspiracy theorist people, I'm like, I ain't got time for it. You wait and see what happens. You wait and see what. I've been waiting for the last year when you first told me this was going to happen, or been waiting since you said about the QAnon and this. Like, I'm waiting still. How long have I got to wait? Like, I can't buy into this bullshit. And then the next minute, the royal family are lizards, and so I'm done. I'm out. Like, I can't. I'm up for believing conspiracies. We know the Gulf of Tonkin actually happened. We know Operation Northwoods was a thing. It's unlikely JFK died how he fucking said he died. 9/11 probably isn't the real excuse. I can get on board with it all. But when you start throwing outlandish, wild fucking claims...
Have you listened to Alex Jones on Rogan the other week?
I didn't. No.
It's good. But this is where it gets the fuel. We're like, well, he's a conspiracy theorist, dude. Man, 9 out of the 10 things he says are fucking true.
So this is like the WikiLeaks thing.
Yeah.
WikiLeaks have never released any information. It's never not been right. But as soon as they release something, it's a little bit salacious and controversial. You're listening to that shit.
Yeah.
Because it's always been 100% accurate.
Yeah.
What do you mean, am I listening to that shit? It's 100% accuracy. Yeah. Of course I'm listening to them, yeah. Nah, it's all bollocks. Like, if it was all bollocks, Snowden wouldn't still be on the run.
Exactly.
Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? I just think that it's like calling people conspiracy theorists is the new calling people witches and burning them. It's a new thing, you know. Just say he's a conspiracy theorist, people ignore him anyway. Like, and I think Alex Jones is a bit fucking mental,
man.
But
he's bonkers, and when you listen to it, it is fucking. He is 150 miles an hour. Yeah, and you're like, where on earth is this coming from? It's just.
How do you retain and then repeat this? No, I can't do that. I'll read a book and then 10 minutes later I forgot I've even read the book.
Because he says at the end of it, he's like, I think I'm gonna have a bit of a rest for a bit. Yeah. I was like, I'm not surprised. Yeah. How can you keep retaining that thing? Yeah. He was good on there. Him and Kanye was good. And everyone thinks of
Kanye because he gets on my tits. Like, I just think, what are you going to say that I want to hear?
Yeah.
What is Kanye going to say that I want to hear?
He did a thingy about 5 or 6 years ago with Zane Lowe. And he said, I'm going to do fashion. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do that. And I was listening. I was like, he's going to do it. This fucker will do it. Yeah. He's got the best selling shoe ever. Yeah. So he does do like I get it. The shit he does. He does say it. The problem is, it's like you got to try and cut through a load of the bullshit to get there.
But it's with this religion thing, I'm out.
Yeah.
The moment you start talking about religion, you might as well be calling the Queen a lizard. But I'm not going to believe in a man in the sky. If you want to, I get it. I get that, and it helps you. Who am I to say that's like me saying jiu-jitsu helps me, and you said it's bullshit? Yeah. That's your thing. That's brilliant. Yeah. When you start preaching religion, I'm out. Yeah. Like you're saying the Queen's a lizard. It's the same thing for me.
Yeah. It was. I was going to ask you. I forgot we've been chatting too long now, but I was going to ask you about Khabib. So, rightly or wrongly, I said something in here, and people sort of looked at me a bit funny. I basically said that I thought that Justin would have a much better opportunity of beating Khabib. 1, the old man was there. 2, he wasn't religious. And everyone looked at me like I was a fucking oddball.
If who wasn't religious?
Khabib.
Right.
So if
you think he would have had a better opportunity of beating Khabib
if Khabib wasn't fucking religious dude?
Yeah, and his dad hadn't died.
Yeah.
100%.
I believe
100%. That makes perfect sense.
So here's my reasoning. We don't understand. I was trying to explain to them as well. We don't understand what it's like to follow our God to that level. We don't understand, so we can't comprehend it. So that was the thing with like. So when people sort of not bagging on, fucking digging on you, but when people go, I don't understand religion. We don't understand it the way that they understand it. It's not indoctrinated enough.
And I don't think that way.
No.
I'm like because we make it your everything if you want to. Yeah. The moment you preach it, I'm out. It doesn't mean that to me, and you have no proof for it. But religion has done a lot of good people. Religion has nothing but bad. Look how many people, millions it's killed. Saved millions of lives as well. Yeah. Like, religion has been very good for people. it's also the reason that some boys have been molested. There's also,
Yeah.
look, there's a million down things. What I'm saying is, you've got a book that we know is substantially probably
Psychedelics.
like fictional or psychedelics, right? We know that, right? So you have a character that you believe lives in the sky and created the world in the dark, right? I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done. If you say to me, listen, I've got this book and I've read it, it's like The Secret. I've got this book and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, read it every night. It's brilliant for you. It's done great things for you. I wholeheartedly believe in it. It's like Friends for me. When I'm ill, I put Friends on TV and I feel better. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing. If this book has done this for you, invest in the book.
Yeah.
Don't preach this book to me like it's real. It's not real.
Yeah.
There's not a man who lives in the sky who's, to the best of my knowledge, there's not a man who lives in the sky who created the world in the fucking dark.
Yeah.
So stop talking to me like I'm an idiot and you understand something that you...
That's the thing.
I don't.
It's the outspoken, you're stupid because you don't follow.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Where if you looked at it, the majority of the highest level athletes, the best athletes, 9 out of 10 of them thank God before they fucking thank anyone else.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing.
But I tell you what that is. I tell you what it is, right?
Or do you reckon that's to gain fans?
So
Does anyone love God as
Ken
much as that?
Pavia once said to me,
Who was that?
He was a manager for loads of UFC fighters. Dana White hates him.
Right.
He's not even allowed in UFCs anymore.
Right.
But he was a big manager at the time, and he once said to me, the first thing I say to my clients is, "Don't thank God." He said, because it's off-putting to so many people.
Yeah.
So it's always say, don't fucking thank God. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, you get the ones who are always going to do it. I'm like, but I always say, don't thank God, because it puts people off.
Yeah.
Now, probably not so much. People just dismiss it. But what happens is this, right? The most successful MMA fighters in the world are the ones who honestly believe they're not going to lose.
Yeah.
They're the greatest. Conor McGregor does so well because he gets inside your mind, because he plants a little bit of seed of doubt against the guys who've never doubted themselves.
Yeah.
That's why Conor McGregor does so well. Now, the reason these top athletes are religious is because they can be super positive and they've got the faith then of God.
Yeah.
So a lot of them aren't even religious. They're not religious in that they don't drink and they don't follow it and they don't like John Jones.
It's a belief
John
system.
Jones, come on, you got Philippians types on your chest. You say you thank God, but you run fucking pregnant women off the road. So I mean, like, you're not religious.
Yeah.
But what happens is it's an extra belief system to them.
Yeah.
It's an extra thing for them to say, I've God on my side, and people are like, oh, he's got God on his side. It's just an extra mental control system.
We don't have that. That's the weirdest thing, because I can't imagine having that either. This is what I was trying to explain. I was like, I can't imagine having something, believing in something that's such a driving force that no matter what happens, it's always going to be on the right path. So even if it goes wrong, I'm like,
it was meant to be. That's God's will. Yeah, exactly.
That's such a weird feeling for me. I'm like,
exactly.
No, it's because I was a dick. That's why it didn't go right. Because I'm a fucking asshole. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do stupid shit. That's why I get fucking caught out. Do you know what I mean? Because I do dumb shit. So it's like, I don't know.
But I think you're 100% right.
Yeah.
If Khabib's dad wouldn't have been in the corner, there's like, there was no way Khabib was losing that fight.
Never.
No way Khabib was losing that fight. I don't think Justin would have beat him, but I don't think. Listen, this is the thing. When Conor fought Mayweather, people said, "I think Conor can do it." I'm like, how? They're like, "Oh, he hits really hard." I'm like, "No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's fought De La Hoya, Pacquiao, Hatton, like Mosley, like." He's fought people who hit 10 times harder than McGregor hits. Yeah. Boxers hit harder than MMA fighters, right? He doesn't hit really hard at all. He hits really crisp and he hits really clean. His timing's good. That's not going to work in boxing, especially against the most evasive fighter ever.
Yeah.
But how's Conor going to... Oh, they could catch him. All right, I'll give you that. Right.
Yeah,
so what we're saying is Conor's got a puncher's chance. No, he'll do better now. I'm like, no. The only way Conor wins is a puncher's chance. If he lands a clean shot and knocks him out, he knocks him out. Let's agree on that, right?
I'm the fucking biggest Conor fan ever.
Yeah. But that's the way to be right. So Justin had a puncher's chance against Khabib.
Yeah.
We can't out-wrestle him. He's not going to sub him because nobody's ever subbed him. So the chance of him subbing him are minute. He's fought much better grapplers. So he's not going to sub him. He's not going to out-wrestle him. We know that. Can he clip him and put him away? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've got fighting gloves on. Anyone clips him. He could do that. So are we agreeing Justin has a puncher's chance? Yeah. So we're all agreeing Khabib's going to walk all over Justin because Justin didn't got a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
When Justin started throwing punches and then Khabib started walking at him like I don't got any respect for your power.
Yeah.
Fuck you, I'm coming at you and I'm in the box with you. People are saying, oh, well, he just did. No, all that is Khabib's now confident enough that he can take you out of your, you out of your style.
Because it made Justin fight almost like old Justin.
Yeah.
Like, too much. Too
Because
much.
Khabib doesn't care. And it's not that what you're doing is not good enough. He's not going to allow you to do what you do. That's what he's done. He's taken away your best attribute.
Yeah.
So it's like you fighting Khabib on your knees and saying, yeah, he never took me down. Yeah, because you never give him the opportunity to take you down.
Yeah.
That's all Khabib's doing to you. He's taking away all your opportunity to do what you do.
Yeah.
That's basically it, you know?
Do you think he comes back?
I hope not. Because the only thing they're talking about is GSP. What a most pointless fight ever. Well, you got a nearly 40-year-old GSP.
Yeah.
Who didn't have the bottle to go up and fight Anderson Silva in a catch weight twice when they offered it to him.
Yeah, that is the fight that was the
that was the fight, because that's the only time ever we've had two people in their prime who could make a weight. That's the only one where it's ever possible. And he didn't want to do it, so he bottled that, let's say, or didn't bottle it. He was sensible. He's like, no, that's not my gig. It's not. So
this is why I think that he has a better chance than anyone else.
Who, GSP?
Yeah, because he
has a better chance than anyone else, because no one else is as good at the wrestling now.
Not even so much that. I think it's because he has got the ability to follow a game plan. Like, boom, this is exactly what we're gonna do.
Your game plan wouldn't mean anything.
But
so that could be his downfall. You can't have a game plan because Khabib will walk through it.
Yeah.
As soon as Khabib's so diverse, right? People think Khabib's a wrestler.
Yeah.
Khabib's so diverse that the moment your game plan is to jab his face off, if he's so close, you can't use jab anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
The moment your game plan is to kick my legs, well, I'll stand really up, really tall. I'll walk straight at you, and your kicks will always be too short, or I'll be outside, they'll be too long.
Yeah.
So GSP's got the ability to follow a game plan, but we've seen what happens with that when BJ Penn started smashing his face in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he started losing the fight. He had to change his game plan to win the fight.
Yeah, but do you not think that I just think out of everyone, he would have the best chance now. I don't.
I agree with he has the best chance.
I still think Conor would have a good chance. I still do.
I don't. I think Conor gets molested even worse next time. I think GSP has the best chance, but that's because GSP will probably beat all of the lightweights out there. He'll smash Conor. I think he'll stop Conor in his quickest.
I think he subs in within first round.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that's because GSP would beat probably every lightweight except Khabib. Yeah. So I do think he has the best chance, but this is why I don't want to see it. You've got the best 170 of all time. Yeah. Fighting the best 155er of all time. But if the best 170, who's nearly 40, gets beat by the best 155er, they're going to say, yeah, but he's old and he didn't fight 155. So that was a pointless fight then.
Yeah, yeah.
If the best 155er beats the best 170 of all time at 155, they're going to say, yeah, but you beat him when he's not at his weight and he was 40 years old. So he didn't get the credit. So what's the point?
Yeah.
The only point is to make UFC money.
Yeah.
And to make both fighters money. Other than that, do I want to see it? Nah. There's better fights to pursue. And this is the other thing. This is the worst out of all of them things that I've said. If Khabib agrees to fight GSP, it's probably going to be 6 months' time, let's say, at least. So let's say 6 months. Whole of the 155 division has to go on hold, so nobody can be champion for the next 6 months. Nobody knows what they're doing. So does Justin now refuse to fight Tony again for the belt? Or does Tony refuse to fight so-and-so because he said, well, it's not for a belt. I'm only going to fight them for a belt. Well, so the 155 division goes on hold.
Yeah. Where do you put Chandler in all this?
Chandler's the most interesting. I think he smashes Conor. I think he has a very, very good fight with Justin.
I think they do.
And he smashes Tony, I think.
I don't think they put him against Conor at all.
Because,
I think Conor dodges that all over the show.
Because he's not good against wrestlers.
Yeah, but it's that and the fact that I think it's a real boring fight. I think Chandler just fucking picks him up, keeps putting him on his ass, keeps him there.
I think he finishes him.
Does the Chad Mendes thing?
I think he finishes him. But Conor's shit when he starts getting that grappled.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think I don't know. I just don't think it's a good fight. I don't think it'd be a good fight to watch.
For Chandler Poirier would be amazing. Chandler Justin would be a good fight.
Poirier's the best fight for
Ferguson.
everyone.
Yeah. You walk through Ferguson.
Yeah, I think Ferguson. I didn't rate Ferguson at all.
Oh, I think Ferguson should retire.
Man, I talk to Kaz a lot. I speak to Kaz a lot about fighters and stuff. We talk about stuff. Like, that's the only one we disagree on. He's like, he loves him. I fucking hate him. Oh, yeah. Shit, cunt. I don't like him at all. I don't like him. I think he should retire. I don't. Yeah. He loves him. Like, he's a fucking. I don't like him at all. If he come in, man, I'd run. fast.
Yeah,
But
like
fuck
listen,
that. I
he's,
didn't like him.
like he's tough as fuck. He's just
Unorthodox.
completely unorthodox, which is hard work. But he's took a lot of damage.
Yeah.
He looks so bad against Justin. I started to think, is a downward spiral for you now.
And all this weird training shit. Like,
Yeah, I think he should step away, and I think Max should think about giving up the gloves now as well. Because I think in a minute Max is going to start suffering from the losing, like Aldo did.
Yeah.
And I think Aldo needs to step away, and I think Max should probably think about stepping away now. Because he beat Volkanovski twice and been robbed twice.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Come back and beat him for a third time?
Yeah.
Like what? What do you do? You're the best. You're the best featherweight ever to do this.
Yeah.
You've been robbed twice.
But he ain't gonna get the
Where'd you
credit.
go?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna get the credit for it.
Yeah.
The same as fucking Aldo never gets the credit for it.
Yeah.
Like Aldo's the best. He's the
100%.
best. But he's never gonna get the credit for it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll
Yeah,
wrap
let's
that
get
up
out
in
of
it, brother. What's it? 2.5 hours that I do in it. Didn't touch on any of the stuff I thought we were going to. Listen, a pleasure to have you on.
Nah, thanks.
Just rattling, rambling, bullshit.
no, it's
but
good.
I love it, mate. So thank you very much for
Nah,
coming on,
thanks.
mate. And hopefully we'll get training before we get another podcast in.
Hopefully. Thank you.